Stupid, dumb idiot.
Welcome to another episode of Two Whites and a Blue. I probably won't even cut that out, you know? Sometimes I cut out the things we say before we start.
No, you shouldn't. I'm doing that on purpose.
You're splicing in a new little commentary before we even start the episodes, though. Did you tell Mike about that?
Yeah, I'm putting in my own intros to the shows.
See, it would be nice. Maybe you can fucking include me on the next board meeting.
Well, here's what we should do.
Sons of bitches.
I'm joining.
You didn't tell me
Mike.
either.
This is what I've been doing. Because
you
know
just slowly taking.
No,
the
you know what's stale.
He just doesn't even post these anymore. He just does it himself.
The Shake Pay read is stale. So I wanted to do a new read, and I'm like, you know what I should do? I should
do a live one.
No, I just give like an episode summary before we start, and I just add the Shake Pay read at the end.
I'm gonna have a COVID sneeze.
Are you? Oh man, you gotta leave the table.
Okay, no, it's fucking.
What'd you spend your money on last week? Today's Thursday. We're doing it on a Thursday instead of a Friday. So we're one day less for Amazon orders. But what'd you spend your money on?
Look at this.
Oh boy, here we go. He's pulling out the fucking receipts, the hit list.
No Amazon orders. Floor plan yesterday. Floor plan today. Floor plan tomorrow.
Is that a fucking free use sound effect? Is that free use?
What do you think I was doing? Sitting in the truck for 5 minutes before I came in here.
Can we use that on the show? Shut that off.
Can I borrow that for when I do mine?
That's great. I like that a lot. So what do you see? You didn't spend your money on anything. You've just been making bank.
It's just bags coming in.
Can I see that for when I do what I spent my money on?
Yeah, sure. He's got to click the green one.
So I went to Home Depot last week and just did this to the Home Depot Corporation.
What did you spend? What did you spend?
Negative bag.
That's gonna be so loud in that.
Minus a couple $100.
Okay.
I went in there. I was like, I went in there to buy a drywall saw, and that's it. Mm-hmm. I ended up buying a new tool bag, a drywall saw. I bought a drill bit. I bought a new tape measure, and it was like.
A new tape measure?
Why? What's wrong with your old tape measure?
It doesn't have metric.
Tape measures last for your entire...
Metric.
People
no, they
get
don't.
buried with their tape measures.
No, they do not. No, they don't.
do.
I bought two before. I had two $6 ones.
Yeah,
so basically what happened was like my first one was good. I had it for a long time. And then like people were digging a trench and like, yo, I need your tape measure. I threw it to them. They threw it back to me. Fucked. Like just putting it in the mud. It's completely fucked.
It's like loaning out a book to a friend.
And then eventually it just fucking broke because it was whatever anyway. So I bought two $6 ones. I didn't even realize it didn't have metric on it, which you need fucking metric on it because half the shit for some reason is imperial and half's in metric. Like, oh, this is 6.5 inches up, but this one's 1,100 millimeters. Like, fucking pick a street.
I know, we do that too.
But anyway, so I bought a new tape measure. This one hopefully lasts for a long time. It's a really nice one. I spent the cash on it. But yeah, it was...
What does a good tape measure cost? Let me guess.
What makes a good tape measure? Like, aren't they all...
rigid? Super rigid?
Well, yeah, like your reach on it, like how far you can go before it bends.
Before it bends.
That, and then like, I don't know, just fucking...
Is there a marker on it?
What do you mean?
Because I've seen some where there's like a little thing comes on and you can mark it.
Yeah,
oh,
so
yeah, they have, not on mine, but like, I don't know. It's just... Honestly, I don't really know. For me, it's like the reach and then just how it sits, how it feels in my hand.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's some auto lock ones, which I don't really like, but they kind of come in handy.
Sometimes,
like they just automatically lock, but then you got to press. I don't fucking know. It's just preference.
If it's more than $50, I'm going to fucking...
No, well, I mean... We'll
snap.
It can't be.
Well, what do you think?
$30.
I don't know. We got to talk about brand names too, probably.
It's a Stanley Fat Max.
Fat Max?
Yeah.
That's with the wide tape.
The wide, yeah. That's the other one I want. I want the wide, which is clutch.
$22.
$33.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, but fuck. Good tools, man. They're worth buying.
Yeah.
True.
Hopefully only buy them once.
What else did you buy? Is that it?
I spent a bunch of money this week because I was working.
Keep going. We are light on content, Mike, so let's go. Get the effects.
Where's fucking...
Do we have to bring in another guy to run the board?
I was at Pizza a couple nights this week. Couple slices each night coming home because I was working. I was helping a buddy out do some job. So I was like,
that's fucking cha-ching.
Money in, yeah, but
but it was already spent.
Yeah, I spent on pizza and dipping sauce. Yeah, it was like, and then I woke up this morning. It was like 10 to fucking 6. I'm like, Usually I get up at 5:30. I'm like, well, I guess I'm buying breakfast. I don't have fucking time. I just went to I've just been going to work, coming home, going to bed. Like I get home at 10. I'm like, fuck me, see ya.
You did say you were going to be running on empty tonight.
Yeah, I'm hurting right.
Seems like you're doing okay.
Yeah, well, I'm faking it with
Are you working tomorrow or no?
Yeah, faking it with fucking caffeine and beers.
Do you think that Amazon stock would triple overnight if they started selling dipping sauce because of the margins?
If they can get it to you in
It costs what, a penny to put a dipping sauce together, and they sell it for like $2,
Maybe more.
Yeah, more. I think.
and they would just drop it out of this.
Dipping sauce is arguably more than the pizza.
If Amazon was delivering dipping sauce, they would drop it like warheads out of a fucking
There'd be
warplane.
no packaging either.
They just wouldn't care.
Bottle
Yeah,
and just
they would
squirt it
just,
into
they
your
would just
house.
fire it out of the sky. What do you want?
Your keys with Michael.
Oh my!
They're in the
You
bowl,
just
probably.
moved my car
Probably in the
everywhere.
bowl.
Just
in
take
the
Mike's
bowl.
car.
Do you want to get on the?
Take it for a
do you wanna get on the mic? All right,
But
that's good.
yeah, just fucking food. And
Professional expenditures though, like you were working before the pizza.
Yeah, you can write that off, man.
Yeah.
Tax write
That
off.
must be.
yeah.
Is that a write-off?
Shit. If only we were a legit business.
I
We
don't
will
think
be
it's a
soon,
write-off.
though. We will be
It
soon.
will be.
Yeah.
But yeah, so food and tools, I think. And that's I bought some beers on the weekend, of course.
That's
as
good.
you
Obviously,
do.
yeah.
Good.
I think that's it. What about you?
How about you, Joe?
I bought. I got my Jason Williams jersey today.
You talked
hyped
about that
up.
before, right?
Pretty hyped on that. I got the seal of approval from Quality Assurance Department, aka Ken's. Told me it's a double hit white, so it's good screen printing on those jerseys. Back in the early
She
aughts.
appreciated the font as well.
Early aughts. Didn't ask her about the font. That's probably proprietary font. It is a sans serif. I don't know what you'd call it. A lot of jagged edges on those S's.
Man, I know
and
that fucking the companies do that. I've probably said that on this podcast before.
What?
Like they have their own proprietary font, or they'll lease fonts. I remember Netflix
100%.
when they branded 4 or 5 years ago, they saved like millions of dollars per year on their font
To that N.
to the whatever their logo was, or whatever the fucking.
I don't remember.
They
the
just
Netflix
shifted.
logo.
They went from red background, white Netflix to just black background, red N.
and an N. Yeah,
Good. That's
saved
a
them
good
millions
idea.
of dollars.
That's crazy. That's actually fucking hilarious. It saves that much. So stupid.
The
But I mean,
cost
it
or
makes
something
sense, right?
like that. You don't even think about it.
You don't
No.
because you have to be in that
Yeah,
realm to kind of understand. Like Kenzie would know.
Even she told me when we got our Mac from AS or whatever, like when she brought her Mac home or like the MacBook, when she downloads all her fonts, like the font, I don't know enough about fonts to know if this is abnormal or not. But if I told you that all the fonts she uses were more than 10 gigs, would you laugh or cry? Like 10 gigs
It's a
of
lot.
lettering, lettering formats, I guess you would call it.
I don't think it's that.
I think it's
absurd.
that much.
I don't think
know
it's
how
that
much it is
absurd
exactly.
though.
well, there's a lot of fucking characters,
and
uppercase,
alphabets,
lowercase,
numbers,
Punctuation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's tons of shit. So I want to know how much a font is in space.
How much
I
does it
bought
top?
a font. I bought fonts
Oh,
before.
because you do.
From
yeah.
where? What the font?
I don't fucking remember. It was
No?
years ago.
Kid picks.
Yeah, Kid Picks fonts.
Wow.
I don't know.
Where's
it wasn't-
that sound effect? Let's get that on the board. Wow.
I know we need a board for sure.
That's our next big buy. Yeah, so I bought the jersey. That was $100 a couple weeks ago. Finally came in. COVID delay. So I know I said 2 weeks ago on the show that it was going to be at my dad's house already. Was not. Only arrived there yesterday.
It wasn't from Amazon. That's
So I
why.
went to pick it up today. My dad is he's a value guy, we'll say. It's a kind way of describing a man who's frugal and spends no money, even though he's got tons
couponer?
of it. Yeah. And so I go over there today. I open the package. He goes, "What's in this thing anyway? What are you so big on this package for?" I said, "You're going to love this." I open it up, show it to him. He goes,
Guess what? He hated it.
he's like, "Wow, why did you buy that?" He's like, "What are you, 10? You buying jerseys?" I'm like,
Not wrong.
I'm like, it's a great jersey. 1, 2, you can't get this anymore. They don't make this jersey. And,
He wasn't sold after one. It's a great jersey.
Oh, he wasn't sold.
Yeah, dude, it is great.
And he's like,
it is
jersey.
It is. I
he's
didn't
like,
even notice.
he
I
goes,
didn't even
You're
notice.
right.
he goes, "Look how cheap this is. That's going to start peeling as soon as you wash it." I said, "If it hasn't started peeling yet, it's not going to start now." And you could see the gears turning. He goes, "Is that a secondhand shirt? You buy that secondhand?" You buy that secondhand? He's like, "Why did you buy it secondhand?"
Sitting there, you just see smoke coming.
So I'm like, yeah, it's secondhand. You can't get these anymore. So I got that, and then I went to H&M and dropped. I went to H&M today, stood in line outside
That's
H&M,
secondhand. No, si, senor.
and spent $130 on 3 t-shirts, 1 pair of shorts, and 1 pair of joggers. Not
That seems
a
like a lot
bad.
from H&M. No?
That's what Kenzie said too. I showed her
much?
130.
130.
T-shirts $12 each.
Okay.
Joggers were $30. The shorts were $50. Now hear me out on the shorts.
More material?
No.
Or less material?
Less.
More money.
Yeah.
Less, but you see them on the rack and you're like, I kind of want a pair of these. These are like denim shorts with the cuff at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I could rock these because if you're gonna get the loose fitting shirt, you get the tighter bottoms. That's the sort of standard procedure as far as I understand it. As far as I understand it,
I know this for sure. I know this.
Is that true? Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know.
Look
Okay.
at me.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm pretty sure I read that on Male
We're
Fashion
work
Advice.
clothes.
So I grabbed the shorts and I wanted to try them on, but you can't because the fitting room's closed. So I just grabbed them. I'm like, yeah, 30. It's my size, my waist, whatever. I'll take them to the front.
I had that fucking issue as well.
I asked the girl at the counter, and she's talking to me from behind, like it looks like she's doing a scuba dive or whatever. She's got the mask on behind the clear. Yeah,
plexiglass there?
It feels like I'm at the zoo, basically.
Yeah. My grandma bonked her head on the plexiglass.
Really?
She didn't see it.
You
She couldn't. She
it's very
can't
clean.
hear people. So she like leaned into here and she just go boom.
So she says, it's like return policy. It's gonna be tough to top that story. Return policy is still the same, 30 days.
That is fucking joke.
You can't try them on in the store though. I'm like, all right. I get them home and try them on. Guess what? They're fucking stretch denim.
Okay.
Is that bad?
It's sick.
Yeah, it is.
Because that was
sick.
my concern. I'm like,
is
what if
sick.
my legs are too big? You know, I don't have huge thighs, but I got thighs too big for size 30 jeans most of the time. So I got
Yeah.
about like 31 or 32. And so I put them on. I thought, this is worth every penny.
Man,
This is worth every penny.
I had that dilemma as I was leaving to come here. I had my other pair of jeans on, those Gap ones you got me.
Yeah.
With the inside stitch on them.
They're called selvage denim.
Yeah, and they're fucking way too tight now.
Are they? Yeah.
Wait, it's a bummer because they're good jeans. And I'm like, well, can't wear these. And I just put on another pair of black jeans, stretch fit, primo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
Oh, yeah.
much better.
Yeah.
So much better.
There's no doubt. Yeah. And so what else I spend money on? That's probably it. I didn't do much else this week for spending, trying to keep it pretty kosher. I do have to buy a reusable mask because I don't have one.
I know. Same. I've been using the same medical one every day.
You need to get
so, like,
a weed leaf on
You
it.
know how much they cost? I can't find a decent one that'll deliver.
You just get a bandana.
Yo, that's jokes. That's man.
Rock
Tupac?
that, Yeah. Fuck
Golfing.
yeah.
I went golfing with my dad yesterday.
No, he's not.
And I picked him up at
He's
his
not wearing one.
at his place. He just comes up red
Come on.
around his face. Like it's not even like tied anywhere at the bottom, just like this and hanging down straight.
That's medical grade, right? Pretty
Yeah,
sure I've
We
been.
call him two-step.
and then he just rocked it around his neck the whole time
Hey,
golfing.
Vinny Lloyd, come on in.
I love that.
Fucking dad, probably just no idea either. Like no,
Very
it was just
like, I'm fucking being safe.
yeah,
He doesn't care.
Yeah, that's the thing. Doesn't give a fuck.
I have a hot take on masks. So
That is fucking jokes.
hot take on masks. I think that Ontario requiring masks or Hamilton requiring masks in the moment because they're mandatory starting Monday, right?
Or tomorrow.
Monday.
Is that what it is tomorrow?
At the golf course it said starting Friday
20th.
the
I
17th.
thought it was the 20th.
Maybe the golf course is starting early. Who the fuck
Wow.
knows?
I think the mask thing right
You have to
now
wear one playing golf?
No, inside.
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 I think they
just in
describe it
buildings.
as like public indoor spaces, whatever
Okay,
that
cool.
means. Public, private indoor
pretty
spaces.
fucking- I guess
So
I
I'm
get
pretty sure the mask thing is I think they know this that now it's unnecessary. It's late and it's overkill to put masks on everybody now.
I don't think so.
I don't think it's
Okay, hold on. I think it is because the cases are like we don't have any cases here active right now in the city, and most of the cases that we had even in the past were same places all over the province, right? Old folks' homes. Now you're seeing it in some of the migrant farming staff.
I think they're just trying to do like the.
Okay, hold on. Let me give you my take. My take is that I think they realize that if there's another wave of this in November, no one's going to voluntarily go back to the lockdown. So people have to be not being introduced to the mask come November.
Right.
They have to already be ready and wearing it and used to it because that's the measure that's going to stop another outbreak if they get one.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
They're trying to do like what they did to Chernobyl, just cover it with like that's what they're just trying to put it to an end. Like they're just like, okay,
Did they do that in Chernobyl?
They just fucking covered it in like a dome.
Did they?
Yeah, they did because it's fucking radioactive area. You can go there.
I didn't know that.
But yeah, I agree with that.
They just like covered it in this. It's fucking crazy. And so that's what they're just trying to. That's what I look at it. They're just like, okay, we'll make mask mandatory, and then it'll just be done.
I think
Yeah.
especially now because they're like, cases are getting like pretty low. There's like about like 100, just over 100 now
In
like,
the
Ontario,
province, yeah.
every month. So like, let's just smother this thing now and
Yeah.
like get it like.
I think that's another
Be done
approach they might be taking. Yeah, they might be
be
taking
done
that
with it.
approach.
But I do think that like obviously like your point is definitely valid because people if like they weren't doing it before, it's gonna be so hard to get them to like start doing that again. you
For
know?
sure. For sure.
Because if they survived the first wave, fine. They're gonna be like, fuck it, we're just gonna ride this out now.
Got the antibodies.
What's the first thing you're going to do come phase 3?
Probably go to Wonderland, even though it's not open.
Or the gym.
The gym won't be open phase 3, you think?
I don't think I'll
Gym's
be going-
opening in phase 3.
Oh, really?
Good Life just sent an email to Kenzie and I 2 days ago saying that Hamilton is not in phase 3, obviously, but next Friday they probably will be.
Yeah, they talk about it every
Oh, whoa,
And,
really?
Yeah, and
I
we'll
don't know if I'll be
open.
going back
So
to
you'll
the
be able
gym.
to climb. You'll be able to climb.
Yeah, I won't be doing that either.
No.
I don't think
eh?
I'll be going back to the gym.
Why?
I don't want to. Not because of COVID. I just do not
Yeah.
miss it.
I'm surprised that you, of all people, are saying that.
I still exercise every
Yeah.
fucking day.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
don't. I think the gym, like I've noticed now, I feel nothing about not going to the gym.
Well, yeah, it's been so
Nothing.
long, for sure.
I feel
Me neither.
nothing, and I didn't feel anything. I don't miss it at all. I don't like the people there. I don't like the atmosphere there. I am very pro exercise and staying in shape, but the gym is fucking whack. Like there's some fucking idiots there.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, yo, you should do exactly what I do because it's right. I'm like, this is the worst. Fuck, I was never happy there. I was just doing it. I'll still go like when it's like first of all when it's like completely gonna go up, but I'll probably only go like a couple times a week.
You're
In the winter,
so you're
I'll
not
go.
going to cancel your membership.
No, I'm gonna
No,
still like
$10
lift
a
weights,
month.
but I'm not gonna be going 7 days a week.
I was
Fucking,
I was thinking today that you're absolutely right. That I would probably go only to just like bench press and do barbell work, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I wouldn't do anything else there. I got
Don't
weights
need to.
here now. If I want
My
to do it,
Yeah,
I
that's
do
on
it.
the rope train.
Yeah,
the
ropes.
Oh,
are
man,
good.
I'm fucking still walking sideways.
Do you want to
from
talk a bit about
Monday.
that?
If you want, sure.
Go for it. Bring
It's
because
fucking hard, man.
me and Mike are veterans of the fucking rope, of the braided demon.
I don't know about veterans.
I am a veteran for sure.
Okay.
I've done it a bunch.
Yeah, I don't know. I like it a lot. Like that's why my maybe first time actually doing like a workout with
Fucking
just like
hard,
the
man.
ropes.
So what are you talking? You talking about battle ropes?
Battle ropes. Yeah. The 2-inch, 30 feet long. That's like I think that's like the sweet spot. Maybe 50 feet long. I don't know. But yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
I don't know. I'm fucked. Like my legs are fucked. Like it's like new spots every day. It's like, oh, that's sore too. Holy
yeah,
fuck,
man.
man. Like what the fuck? And like right up here, my upper traps, it's really fucking.
Yeah, because
sore.
you're
Oh, yeah.
constantly fucking back and doing it. You got to use like your huge muscles to like move it efficiently. It's fucking sick, man.
Yeah.
And like, man, I like that kind of shit. You don't really get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. You get a full pump and like a cardio workout.
Because it's not that much resistance.
That's right. There's not enough resistance to really damage like ligaments.
And
or
that's what
anything.
I'm.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, forget all the like mental shit at the gym, like not liking the demographic and whatever I was just saying. The injuries, man, I feel fucking so good right now. I've been doing like
Yeah.
a lot of cardio, a lot of stretching. Like it's been helping my like. Well, I guess for golf, I really is the only time I really notice it because like my mobility is so much more.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
I like. So like the gym, I'll go, but like yeah, it'll be just to do like bench, maybe some. I'll just go to use some of the equipment, but I'll be in out in like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Let me play devil's advocate here because I noticed this about myself probably in the first month until I started running most days. Like today, I ran in the morning. I'll either run, do ropes, or like go to the stairs these days, pretty much every single day. And the reason I do it is not because I particularly enjoy running or that cardio, but if I don't do it, I can't sleep.
Yeah.
I'm not tired, right? You're so used to just hitting the pillow. You talked about this last week, I think, or 2 weeks ago. You hit the pillow and you're out because you've just been grinding all
best.
day and
Yeah,
going to
it's
the
the
gym
best.
after. Now,
I don't
fucking
get that
best.
all the time.
I don't get it at all now.
Yeah.
And you just
I
like,
gotta
you
go
just
out and do
release
something.
and sink into your bed. Your
Yeah.
your body's just fucked.
But it's
You're
not
just-
like that now.
No,
I
it's
love
not.
it, man. It's my
You're
favorite.
probably still in that boat
Oh,
because
I'm
you're
in
still
that boat
working too.
hardcore.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right. So
exactly.
I'm in that boat all the time.
I'm
Yeah.
like the opposite. I'm going to take a melatonin and shit to go to sleep.
Are you?
Yeah. Not every
You guys
day,
are
but like yeah, a
chilling.
decent amount. Because I'm like, even if I exercise, it's like an hour a day. The rest of the time, I'm just fucking posted up.
And it's like
chilling.
early too.
Just
like, you
hanging
get it
out.
done early, and then you're just
Yeah.
chilling. Like you might as well do 2 a days.
I could,
Really,
yeah, totally.
Like you might as well.
But that's what I want the ropes for, because then I'm actually gonna like be motivated. I'm gonna try to get up early and go to Central like early, and then rip them there.
can I make a recommendation to you?
Go for it.
Don't go before it starts to get hot because you're gonna get mosquitoes. That's one thing I don't. I tried to go here a couple of times, and
Not
anytime,
expecting that at all.
man,
Yeah.
the mosquitoes
You're
are
moving too quick,
Gonna get
Nah, you
mosquitoes,
think you
dude.
are, but you're not. The mosquitoes will get you. They get
That
you in
is-
the backyard. They get you at the
It's the
park.
battle rope's worst enemy.
I used to
man.
take Scoop. I used to take
Mosquitoes.
Scoop on walks in the summertime when we first got him. Especially, I'd try and go at like 6 o'clock when it was
Yeah.
light out. Mosquitoes, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
They're indiscriminate killers, and they're hated by all of the rest
all
of
the
Mother
battle
Nature.
rope users.
I just say everyone hates them. No one likes
I
mosquitoes.
think frogs
They
are probably
don't.
pretty down.
frogs. Okay,
yeah,
sure.
fucking
Yeah.
spiders. And shit,
Spiders,
probably.
yeah, they're pretty down.
We never
That's like
talked.
that's their purpose.
We never.
Mosquitoes born to die. So
That's
Man,
it.
it's fu- we
Well,
were
what's
at,
their lifespan? A day, right, or
man,
something
we were
like
at
that.
the
2
cottage,
days.
and I was just like sitting there, like as I'm like killing them. I'm like, I've killed probably like 50,000 mosquitoes, like not even exaggerating. And I'm like,
yeah,
This guy was, and they're down there, and they're thinking of is I need another, and black flies too. Like I need another bite.
Yeah.
And they go in and they just risk, like black flies especially, mosquitoes, they're gonna die. Black flies can dip.
Yeah.
They go in, he gets in, he gets away, and you see him, and he just comes right back. I need more. And then
Does
you're
a
just
black fly
you're
take
just
blood?
risking your life every time for
Every
a
time.
bite of food. It's fucking joke.
Do they take blood, black flies?
I don't know. They bite you.
They bite, but I don't
Is
know.
it- I don't know what
Mosquitoes
they do.
take blood.
Maybe
If
they-
you
I
catch
think
a
they-
mosquito mid-suck, like you get.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe they do. They might. Like,
Is that the only way they can survive though? Is sucking people's blood?
Can't be.
Mosquitoes?
Yeah.
I would imagine. What else do they do?
I don't know.
Not
Sucking
people. It's like
animals
yeah,
and shit.
the animals. They just fucking go to. They have a feast.
But imagine that's your only way of living. Like you're
Sucking
fucked.
blood?
You're fucked regardless.
Or you could just land on a deer and just like have a fucking heyday.
Yeah, but good
Because they
luck.
can't do this shit. They just sit there and just take it.
Black
but
flies.
There's way more mosquitoes than there is deer.
The black flies.
Yeah, but I mean, they fucking you could have like 50,000 mosquitoes on
little
one
sting,
deer.
man.
guess.
It'll get you. I know Scoop. Like you could see at the dock a couple of times when a black fly would like land on his leg.
They can't
where
do
there's-
shit.
And there's not like a ton of hair there, and they'd get him, and you'd see like Scoop would go from looking for the ball to just
Yeah.
something just happened. I
Yeah.
didn't like that.
I remember my old dog would get fucked up at
Yeah.
the cottage.
Yeah.
Fucked up. Like all her face was just
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
swollen up and shit. She'd just get dummy because they don't care.
Roxy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
she'd have a
didn't
lot of
care.
hair on her face.
They
yeah.
didn't care. They just, because like dogs don't feel pain like a second after it happens. They just hit, they're just like, whatever, I guess. And
Yeah.
they carry on, but they're getting fucked up.
Do you know what we should talk about today since we're light on content? Did you guys see this Twitter hack story from yesterday?
No.
Really?
I don't have Twitter, and Mike doesn't go on Twitter.
Every
so-
account on Twitter that you've ever heard of hacked and sent out a Bitcoin wallet address to send donations to was like Bitcoin for Health or something, or Partners with Health.
much do you
Every
think they
account
made?
Wow.
they made more than they ended up with like 13 Bitcoin. So what's that? I don't know.
That's not even- that's
150
100,
grand.
100
Oh,
yeah,
I was expecting millions.
about
Oh,
175
yeah, I was expecting,
175,000
like, I thought you were
Canadian.
gonna say a billion.
So
Yeah.
here's two things, right? First of all, they got Obama, Elon Musk, the Apple account, Bezos, Amazon, everyone you've ever heard of. They got all of them, the whole kit and caboodle.
But if imagine like Bezos is like telling you to donate shit, it's like, bro, you
They
just do
sent
it.
man,
You just do
the
it.
number of people, Kardashian they got, Kanye they got.
This is also eye-opening. All these people are holding crypto.
It was a huge fucking get. And
No,
one of the
maybe.
things,
Maybe.
one of the
Elon
things
Musk
that
is.
no, I
Maybe.
doubt the celebrities. You think like
Why not?
Bezos?
Why not?
Oh, I
Why
was
not?
yeah. Musk
Remember when
is,
50
Musk
Cent
is.
came out and he's like, oh yeah, back in like 2007 or 8, he's like, oh my manager was like, yeah, you should accept this cryptocurrency like online for your
I think
album
it
sales.
started in like 2010. Yeah.
Oh, whenever it was, super early on. He's like, I don't fucking care, sure. So he just said yes, and like people bought his album like with Bitcoin, and it turned into like millions of dollars.
I remember there was like a couple kids that were on it from the hop, like when it was like fuck all.
Mm-hmm.
A couple kids that like we knew personally, and they were like
Oh,
in
yeah.
their MSN names and shit. They were talking about Bitcoin and whatever. Like this is when MSN was relevant. They were like on it. And,
Long
like,
time
They were
ago.
kind of like, yeah, man. Fucking, you know them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you know them well.
Huh.
They went to district. You could drop a name if you want, but I don't.
Oh yeah, okay.
It was fucking Ruan.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Ruan was all into it. Man.
True.
And he fucking they were way ahead of it.
Is he a Bitcoin millionaire now?
I don't know what he is.
Should be,
I don't know.
No, but
Yeah,
the thing is,
he-
no
yeah,
one in
who
their right
knows?
mind buys 100 Bitcoin for $1 each and then keeps it past 500 a coin,
No shit.
1,000 a coin,
No
3,000 a coin.
You know, like
Yeah.
man, like there's a guy that I work with right now. He's got this stock. He's got like I don't know. It was 4 cents a share when he bought it. They're all waiting on this funding, or whatever's going on right now,
Funding secured.
something like that. But like it's bumped up, so he's made 100% on it. It's now it's like just under. So it was at 9 cents. He bought it for like 4.5.
Yeah.
But now it's at like 7.5, and I'm like, he's got like he's got like he's got like $9,000 or something in it.
Really? So
It's
I
a lot
can't
of
believe
money.
the stock is that liquid, that small.
Well, he just bought like
You know?
It's always liquid for buyers. Question
Yeah,
is
yeah,
liquid
yeah.
for sellers.
Well,
I
it's
don't
just
know.
like I'm sitting there like looking at him. I'm like, because I'm trying to talk to him about like, because he's got like 85 G's invested. Like,
Do you know what stock it is?
No, I don't. Oh, he's definitely told me.
we got to find that out.
Do you know what industry it is?
I could text him.
Got to be tech
I could text him.
It could be like fucking marijuana or something like.
It's not marijuana.
or
It's
fucking soy.
I'll text him right now.
You see
Burcon?
that Oatly company?
No,
Oh, they produce oat milk. $2 billion valuation.
oat milk.
That's what they do.
Which I've never seen oats with nipples or udders.
I know.
So what part of the milk
I think
or
they
the
just,
oat
soak,
are
they just soak oats in water and then pour it into a jug and
I think
sell it
that's.
to you
I'm
for
pretty sure that's what
$10.
Kenzie has for lunch every day.
Oat milk.
Oats with milk. Yeah.
You should ask her if it's Oatly.
I think it's worth $2 billion. Just the stuff we got in our fridge.
Maybe.
Let's get the fucking quantity produced. That's what I want to know. Ever since that marijuana debacle where they were valued at like whatever a couple.
Well, yeah, get this. I know they
it's
have
insane.
They have $15 million in sales per year.
That's
and
fucked.
They're $2 billion.
15 million on how? Yeah, what's the net though? Is that 15 billion gross? Like, what does it cost to fucking soak oats in milk in a barrel or whatever
Pretty
they're
sure
doing?
that's 15 million revenue.
Oh,
like
rev,
total
okay.
revenue is 50 million, and they're somehow
$2 billion
valued at $2 billion.
Money's
company
free.
is.
Money's free.
But how do they? I don't understand. Like, I get it, but I mean, I don't understand why it's worth. Like, how do they get that number? They just like.
I can explain that.
Is there like a formula for it or something?
Yeah. So
But
like
that's not what they're using to get that. They're not using a formula like hard numbers to get that valuation. There's other
no,
stuff
like,
that
I
goes
can
into it.
tell you why.
It's like a
they
lot
can
prediction
claim
too.
they can claim to be worth $2 billion. It's because
So if they sell, they can put it up for sale for $2 billion.
like technically right now it is worth $2 billion because that's what the last buyers are willing to buy it for. So people bought 10% for
10%.
$200 million.
Right.
So-
So okay.
So if I sold you 10% of my company
Yeah.
for $200 million, that means it's valued at $2 billion.
Right.
So the latest investors bought in
Dictate.
at that valuation.
Right. So like okay. So like so they're just there's no real.
So whoever like those people that bought in, they aren't really being like, okay, 50 million sales times whatever this and this,
Right.
$2 billion. They're just like, fuck, we want in this
We
company.
want a piece.
Right.
We want a piece.
So then that kind of dictates like the bottom line
yeah,
in a sense, right? Like I bought and then you can turn like a fucking maybe it's probably worth 200 million, and then you can turn it into a hard 2 billion if you bought 10% for 200 million.
There are things.
on a whim.
Yeah, there are.
That's like the hope, right? But then it also goes the opposite. Like when Masayoshi-san, this guy owns like SoftBank, huge investment fund. He like paid. I don't even.
SoftBank is like a Chinese.
It's like a hedge fund kind of.
Yeah, they basically are. They have like a VC arm, so
You need to find like what hedge fund is to me as well.
the hedge fund's not important. They have a
Well,
VC.
it kind of is. I'm asking the question.
Oh, like in this story?
Just in
Okay,
general.
yeah.
in general.
I don't even know how to
Like
describe a
Berkshire
hedge fund.
Hathaway is a hedge fund, right?
No, Berkshire Hathaway is a holding company.
Okay. See.
We want to start a
Berkshire-
holding company.
Yeah, Berkshire Hathaway is like a publicly listed, basically holding company because that buys other companies and shit.
Right.
Hedge fund is basically like I don't know. The way I see it, it's like a glorified like investment advisor. Like if I started a hedge fund, I have like a bunch of like advisors working for me. You're a rich guy. You're like, here's 20 million to invest for me, and I invest that 20 million for you in like whatever. Like
Could you like compare
stocks,
it to like a
bonds.
law firm?
Sorta. A
Kind
hedge
of.
fund. A hedge fund.
I don't know.
A hedge
As
fund
opposed to
generally.
having lawyers, you have investors.
Kinda, but it's usually the main guy who like makes all the choices. Like I would start my own hedge fund, and then I make all the choices.
The main guy is what sells the product.
Yeah. So then you don't really. It's kind of like a black box. Like you don't really see what I invest in until like I do it. Usually, and I probably give you annual updates. And then every year, if there's profit, I take 20% of the profit,
Okay.
and then you get the rest.
There's no public there's no public facing strategy or releases or stuff like that in terms of like moves that the companies are making. Like when Berkshire a couple of weeks ago, shelled out 50 billion for or 500 million, whatever it was, for that other company they bought. That's a public facing move. Hedge funds generally deploy strategies that, like the name says, are meant to protect you in the event that
hedge your
something
bet.
goes wrong. Yeah. And so anyone can do an investment strategy. And you stop me if I'm wrong about any of this. Anyone can do an investment strategy, but hedge funds offer something that traditional investment vehicles don't, and it's the hedge. And so like Will said, you're getting the minds behind the fund who are helping you with that strategy, making sure that your money's protected in the case of a pandemic or a downturn in the economy or a housing market falls out or whatever, right?
That's like the ideal concept, but it definitely like strays a lot from that because like sometimes the investors will just be like, oh yeah, we took like that 500 million and we put 400 million into the short position.
Yeah.
And like, whoops, it didn't work out. So you just lost like 200 million. Sorry guys.
All right, so what's up with that SoftBank?
Oh, so SoftBank, like they bought in, like we work at like a crazy valuation. They're like, we just want a fucking piece of this. It's such a good company. Like it's a huge startup. We're going to give you all this fucking money at this a crazy valuation. And then like
What was the number? Do you remember?
I think it was like 30 billion.
It was a lot.
It was like a 30 billion valuation for this company, and then like a year later, that company needed more money to raise more money, and then they were like, "Now you're valued at like 2 billion."
No, but they valued it high at first, but then the WeWork CEO went off the deep end, right? Adam, whatever his name was, Adam Newman, and he went off the deep end. There was some other stuff about SoftBank's bookkeeping that was a little bit suspect.
Yeah.
And basically the company went from worth, whatever it was, 30 billion to like what, 9 or something.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like, so all that money you put into it
Overnight.
at that valuation, like it just like halved itself or even
Gone.
less than half
Gone.
itself. So like you can fuck yourself over just guessing valuation.
You should never trust a guy named Mayoshi's son. Like, this is not a good idea.
Masayoshi's
I would
son.
argue that this is never a good
Mayoshi.
idea. Whatever
Why
his
not?
name was.
Why not? What do you got
know.
against
I
guys
just-
with names like that?
I don't know. He had a fucking golden touch for quite a long time there.
Well, maybe. He's maybe cooking his
So
books
he's
too.
washed up. Now he's
Potentially.
So this Twitter hack thing, back to the fucking, main vein here. These guys hack all these accounts, but they release something at the end of the day that looks a little like it might be a problem for Twitter down the road. So we've talked on this show before about how there's a difference between a platform and a publisher. A platform gives you a place to speak. A publisher chooses what other people can see, right? Mm-hmm. And so Twitter has long been on the side of
Imagine we got a publisher for this show.
it'd be incredible.
There'd be like 4 words on the whole episode.
Spotify, hit me up. Spotify, hit me up. DM us.
Mike is cut from the show.
So Twitter's long been on the side of we're not a publisher, we're a platform. We don't manipulate the trends. We don't manipulate anyone's timeline.
But that's bullshit. Though.
If you follow somebody, you see it. The trends are organic. We don't touch them. Whatever trends.
Haven't they been kind of not doing
they
that
haven't
lately?
They haven't been caught doing it. But yesterday,
They're definitely
the
manipulating it a bit.
hackers who got into the Twitter backend did it with some social engineering on one of the guys at Twitter who has access to what
that's the way to go.
has access to what the internet now is basically calling. They're basically calling it God mode. And the God mode dashboard has exactly what you would think it has. It has throttling. It has show up in search results or don't show up in search results. Trend suspension or not trend suspension. So all the stuff that Twitter's basically been saying they're not doing,
Well, they're doing.
they've been doing it.
Or they at least have the capability to do it.
They've probably been doing it.
I
And
bet you that's what they come out and say.
the problem is now, because some of the higher ranking government officials were hacked, Obama, like I said, I don't think Trump's was included in there, but
He's a private citizen.
he is. But the question is, if something went out from Obama's Twitter account that lent itself to military action from a rival nation, what would Twitter have in terms of liability if it was because of a hack? I would argue they bear the brunt of it. And so the thing with Twitter now is there's a lot of U.S. senators, Republican mostly, because Twitter's a left-leaning organization, which is their prerogative, but Republican senators writing these guys and saying, hey, I want to see how this happened. I want to see what you're doing to prevent it. And since you obviously have access to all these accounts that can start a world war, need to see what you've been doing with those accounts too. Because this is not something we agreed to trust you with in the terms. And so naturally, Twitter, I think, is going to have a hard time with this, because if Twitter is able to look at is able to go into like Trump's DMs or Obama's DMs or whatever, or send
But of
tweets
course
from
they
those.
can.
Yeah,
Well,
that
it's
makes
not.
sense.
Yeah, but it's not implicit in the terms. It's not there in the terms, right?
Yeah, but it's not there.
It's
But how
not.
could they not have access to that? How could you set it up where you as the company can't even go in there?
Don't know.
I don't even know if that's possible.
I mean,
You're a
Apple
moderator.
sets it up. Apple sets it up with iMessage, right? It's encrypted end to end. They can't give it to authorities. There's no way for them to
Yeah,
give
but
it
they
to
can
them.
see it though.
No, they can't. And they can't. They're
Really?
fighting. Yeah, they're fighting with the U.S. government in court right now because the government's been saying to them for the better part of 10 years, this is not okay because terrorists and child traffickers are using this. The
Right.
problem is private citizens use it too. And so you don't get an invitation to my messages just because you can't catch
But that's
somebody.
what the government does all the time. They lean on that, which is like
That's a fact.
well, you got to do.
That's a fact.
You got to pick a street. Do I want like no privacy and no fucking terrorism and
exactly.
child trafficking, as you said, or do I just want wire to wire?
because you
very
can't have
thin
fucking
line.
both. Obviously,
You can't have both.
It's
It's
impossible.
impossible.
It's impossible to have both. So
That's a fucking controversial conversation.
The
Get
government-
all the child traffickers to use one app.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what they
should do that.
Hey, you guys use this. It's completely encrypted.
It's fine, guys.
It's completely. It's
fine.
and then
Yeah,
every time they go in to get a child, it's just Chris Hansen. I want you to just have a seat right here.
Look at how big a deal this is for something like TikTok.
Shoot 'em all in
you
the
guys
fucking head.
do you have TikTok on your phone?
No.
So I got TikTok on my phone the other day to push this show.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, no.
I've been doing some reading about this for the better part of 2 weeks, and TikTok, this is something that they should be disclosing. Maybe they is the App Store, or they is, some other responsible disclosure mechanism or something like this. But TikTok was torn down by an engineer on Reddit, and the guy basically posted his findings with the receipts. TikTok takes more data from your phone than any app you have, and it's not close. Facebook, Instagram.
What do you mean by data? Just like your shit, or like your data that you pay for?
Sends your clipboard to TikTok service. You copy something on your phone, it sends it to the TikTok service. So if you ever copy like a password from Chrome,
weird.
It is weird.
I don't know why.
It's made even weirder by the amount of support it seems to get. The New York Times put out a piece the other day that, this is the same company who basically said Facebook serves no purpose and needs to be removed from social consciousness after the
TikTok
Russia
said that?
thing. No. New York Times said that.
Oh.
Back in 2017 after
What's
the
the
election.
difference between Facebook, Instagram? They're all in the same.
Gets better.
They're all the
It
same.
gets better. New York Times put out a piece the other day saying that there's nuance we need to consider with TikTok, and it's an issue of free expression because people need opportunities to share their media with the world. It's incredible the amount of water that gets carried for TikTok and other I hate to say it, but they're Chinese-owned companies in the North American press. It really gives you pause on stuff like iMessage. These guys, Apple has done a lot of things I don't agree with, including but not limited to the suicide nets outside where they make their phones and, probably destroying the environment in the process.
Man.
It is, you're right. But Apple's the only company. Apple's the only company fighting the U.S. government in courts publicly, saying "Hey, no, we're not giving you backdoor access to people's messages. Can't do that."
Yeah, because but the thing, that's what they put lipstick on a pig when they say that. They're just like, oh, but we're just fighting terrorism and child trafficking and whatever else. Yeah, and whatever else. But they just want access to everyone's shit.
I know.
That's the which is sad that that's the main agenda. But that's what they're doing. And it's just okay, well, no then. Fuck you. I don't really give a fuck. I don't really have anything. You want to look at my phone, there's
you say that.
There.
You say that.
No, but I'm going to finish. I'm not, but I'm also still, even though I have nothing to hide, I'm not willing to just surrender my privacy. Even still, at home for no reason. Worst you're going to catch me is fucking jerking off or something in my room when you're looking in my camera or something like that. That's the worst that's going to fucking happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not fucking doing anything. I'm not planning anything bad. I'm up there scheming in my room. It's fucking.
You ever tell any off-color jokes to your buddies in text?
Of course.
That's the kind of thing now that I'm not saying you do this, but it's the kind of thing that it may be maybe not okay, but it may not be cancelable now. But if things keep going the way they're going in 5 years,
and yet they're being people need their right for free expression. It's completely contradictory.
Oh yeah.
Everybody, they're oh, we want it's 100% the same people. This is a good segue into my fucking strategy that I've been fucking telling you guys.
Is it
about.
Mark's note?
No, I got Mark's note.
Strategy.
Mark's strategy.
Mark's strategy. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
So this is just
brought to you by
what the fuck
Shake
was I
Bay.
saying?
About the
It's a good segue.
where
Too.
it's a good segue about
good segue.
what's on your phone, the texts on your phone, and canceling, and the worst thing you're gonna get caught doing.
That's so easy.
The worst thing you're
He
gonna
just blew it.
the worst thing you're gonna get caught doing. We were talking about the worst thing you can get caught doing is jerking off if someone looks in the camera, and I said, is there any off-color jokes on your phone? You said, yeah. I said, even though that might not be cancelable now, it will be cancelable in the future. And you said it's contradictory to TikTok and the free expression thing. And then you said it's a perfect segue.
I can't believe it's
and
gone.
I really can't lead you. I can't lead you to the well any better than
I know,
that.
I'm
You're
trying
there,
my best
you know.
here. I had a really
That's
good
where
point.
we
To
were.
make. It's just it's the same people that fucking say we don't want this to be said, but then they're in the same regard they're being but we want rights to freedom of expression and yada yada yada. The same people are getting offended over do you know what I'm saying?
I do.
It's completely it's insane to me. So it's what I've been doing now because I can't say some of the words that I grew up saying that didn't mean what they mean.
Yeah.
Right? Like we used to always just freely say gay.
They weren't used.
Gay.
They weren't used.
And it didn't mean
That's right.
homosexual. It didn't mean that at all. It
Right.
mean like this sucks.
It's
like,
stupid.
And it had no like. And then there's other words that you're saying that I'm not gonna say because they are way more derogatory, but it didn't mean what they meant. And now it's like. So what I've been doing now, this is a good strategy. Because like really,
Is this the strategy?
This is the
I know.
strategy.
I know where he's going with
So
this.
it's really like those like I'm just going back to like my childhood vernacular. It's kind of lazy. So now I've been like looking for new words to say that are like off-centered, and I can say they mean what I'm trying to say.
Hey, Mike, do you have any good words you've been using lately that maybe fit that
you fucking invalid.
decent?
Like great.
Drop some knowledge on it. Do you want the headliner this week? Do you want to describe the word invalid for the headliner?
Yeah, because like I've been saying it for I don't know. Like I want to say like a good part of a month at least. Like just when you know what I mean. Like I said it on the show a bunch of times. You fucking retard. Like you can't say that anymore. It's not allowed.
No,
and this is in context.
Blank that out.
No, don't blank it out because this is part of context. I'm not just saying it. So now I can now have to look. So I have to be not lazy. I have to find a better word that means what I mean. And when I say retard, I don't mean like, you know,
developmentally delayed.
mentally disabled. I don't mean that. I just mean that's fucking stupid. Or whatever, right? Like I don't know. Like you just like so you look, you have to kind of put some effort in, which kind of justifies it a bit more. Like I put the effort in, I found a better word, and it also proves it like gets my point across a lot better.
How'd you find it?
Invalid? No idea.
Okay.
I just been saying it. Like I just maybe I heard it, maybe I read it. I think I might have read it in a book or like in an article or something. Yeah, I've been reading
Sapiens?
Might have been in Sapiens.
Are you still reading that one?
Still reading it.
Yeah.
Picking away at it.
That's good.
Picking away at it. But like I've been saying it for so long, and I said it to Joe in our group chat today.
Invalid.
And I was like, "You fucking invalid." I'm like, "I've been saying this for so I don't even know what it means."
I like how you pronounce it properly too.
Well, yeah,
invalid.
Yeah,
Instead of what, invalid?
you fucking
I think
invalid.
a lot of people would see that word and say invalid.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you have to look at context.
Is it spelt correctly though?
Yeah, it's just spelled the same.
Because if you put in your pin wrong on like an ATM machine, it says invalid pin.
Invalid,
right,
invalid
Not
pin,
invalid.
sickly pin.
It's like it's insulting your pin.
Your pin is unwilling and incapable of taking care of itself.
Your pin's got a lot of problems.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm sitting there like I was just chirping Joe. I'm like, I don't even know what this means. You can kind of get the gist of it by when you say it. It sounds good. It's a burn, you know. Obviously, it's a burn.
Good burn.
It is a great burn. And then I'm just looking up at it. It was exactly what I wanted it to be. He's just like an infirm or sickly person.
Infirm.
Incapable or unwilling of taking care of himself.
Unwilling. Just
Or him
in
or
a
herself.
wheelchair, just like, not eating today.
Just Ray
is
from
the
Trailer
most,
Park Boys.
It is that's a good description.
That's all
good
it is.
description.
Yeah.
That's the most damaging description of
it's
somebody.
great. It's
I'm unwilling to take care of myself. I could, but I'm unwilling.
I
It's like
like-
the definition of just like, nah.
Nah.
Just like, oh man, I could get up and get in shape.
You know what? I showered a couple of days ago. I'll just wait till tomorrow. Again.
You can just
Pass me the Pringles.
breathing takes effort. You fucking invalid. Like
You ever see that episode of King of the Hill where I can't remember, one of them has to go to the gym, or one of them is like getting fat or something, and the neighbors all try and get this guy to go to the gym, and he's complaining that he's too fat to go to the gym but not fat enough to live in bed.
so
He's an invalid.
Yeah, it's an invalid.
That's an invalid.
And I mean, it was like, I was so glad when I looked that up. I was like, that is exactly what I wanted it to be.
Get your use out of it now because you probably won't be able to say
It's
it.
gonna
in like
be
4 years.
it's gonna be fucking.
You'll be canceled.
Canceled.
You're never going to be able to run for city council.
It's gonna be too offensive. But
you
like
dropped
the
the
same
I word.
Yeah, the same people are gonna be like. But I mean, if you want to go on TikTok and have your freedom of expression,
It's
go ahead.
ridiculous.
Just don't say the fucking I word.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Like you're gonna have like the A, B, C, D, E, all the way to Z
Everywhere.
word.
Yeah.
Everything that's like mildly offensive, like I could just say, I don't know, you fucking rainbow. Like you just say it like that, and it's just like now it's offensive.
It's worse
I
there.
bet you that is
Yeah.
offensive.
It is. Yeah, it's worse there.
I guess that is kind of not a very good one. But I mean, you could just say you fucking willow tree. Like it's just
Yeah.
how you say it can sound.
If you drop it on somebody, remember that guy?
Well, someone's gonna look up like a historical meaning and be like, "Well, that's where like they hung most of black people."
It's
Exactly.
racist, man.
That's
Yeah, it's like,
exactly
oh
like-
my, like, you can't do anything. Like,
You
people
remember,
are so fucking bored. Just go up, just do something in your life. Stop being offended by everything.
Yeah.
Fucking
Go
pussy.
accomplish
easy
something else.
easy thing to tackle. That CNN anchor Cuomo, he was at like a carnival or something in New York, and someone called him Fredo. You know who Fredo is?
From The
He's
Godfather.
a dumb brother in The Godfather. Yeah.
Fredo
And
from fucking
Fredo-
Lord of the Rings.
So Fredo, I guess, was
Frito
quite
Lay.
insulting to him, and Cuomo,
Lay.
who's a public figure, loses his mind, threatens to throw this guy down the stairs, compares being called Fredo for Italians to being called the N-word if you're black.
What?
I know, completely
I
lost
think
his
there's
mind.
a way better word.
Yeah,
there's a legit racial slur.
Dago,
Yeah,
you name
there's
it, right?
legit slurs that
I know,
are way
and,
worse.
And so like this guy loses his mind and tries to basically jump on the whole "I'm offended" train there,
I
right then
fucking
and there,
hate that.
which is
So
insane. Also, this
soft.
guy's a public figure. He knows damn well that what he's saying is not true.
Of course, he wants all
You
that
know-
unpaid publicity.
You're just fucking whining is what you're doing.
Everyone's
Don't-
whining now.
Just don't do something productive. Like all you're doing is just sitting there crying like a bitch. Like,
Yeah.
just get up, dust yourself off, and go back to.
But that's
doing
what gets
you
the
were doing.
eyeballs. There's probably a huge fucking army behind him now, being like, "Oh yeah, no one can say that word now." Like
This was a few years ago, and
Really?
Trump on his Twitter feed called that guy Fredo on Twitter for 2 years. And now he still calls him Fredo on Twitter. It's incredible. Like it really, as much as I don't love Trump, I think he's fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
It
that's
is
kinda
hilarious.
joke.
It is
It is pure.
hilarious.
It's so jokes. Like
It's hilarious
Fredo
because you
again, low
we're not-
ratings, CNN, Fredo.
Like,
Yeah.
we're canceling that word? We're not canceling.
and like honestly, like most people don't like Trump, but like when you go so far the other way,
That's what you
that's
get.
what you get.
That's
Yeah,
what you
exactly.
get.
Like
You're
you
right.
fucked up.
You're
Like
right.
you guys got so offended, and you're just wasting time and energy. Like there's so much more important shit to do than sitting there just being offended.
How
Yeah.
how long
Fuck.
how long have you had that hat now?
I don't know. It's getting a little bit worn.
No sweat marks on it yet. I was just about to say it looks like it's been meticulously
Your Howard
maintained.
hat.
Hey, I haven't been wearing it to work out in. I've been wearing the grade 10 beak.
That
True.
thing's fucking
It's got the fucking
It
mountain, the
is
sweat
euchred, yeah.
mountains on it.
A lot of sodium
crushing
baked
better
into that
days.
thing.
That's my crushed hat now. I love that hat.
What else you guys want to talk about?
I don't know.
We're only 45 minutes in. We don't have to do a 2-hour
What are you,
rip like we
fucking
normally do.
Worried or something? Like we're not gonna be able to do
Mike's
it?
still got a Mike's note.
I got a note.
Do you want
Save for about an hour.
do you want to talk a bit about I don't know.
Oh, I guess I want to say.
Okay, go.
Okay, if I've been thinking about this a lot lately. If you had 150 grand right now to better your future, what are you gonna do with it?
Houses.
Houses? Just to buy a couple of houses? Where are you gonna fucking buy houses?
houses like plural? Like you don't have enough for a house.
Just go to this lady next door and just with the suitcase.
But it's not enough.
there. Just get out.
Yeah, but like
You're gonna put 50%? Are you gonna put 20% down on one house? That's like 90 grand, 100 grand. Then that's gone.
if I had some time to think about it, I
Think
think
about 50 grand.
Well, you
in
don't.
I think
Renos.
probably what Hey,
I know exactly what I would buy.
There's so many options though. You know
A
what I mean?
racehorse.
You have 150K.
put it on black, double it.
Fucking
Exactly.
Fuck yeah.
Easy. Okay,
Easy money.
what's bettering? Bettering like 10-year bettering or bettering like
I'm just saying, if you
Generational
inherited
bettering.
150 grand
What
right
would you-
now,
what would your
what's your
move be?
first move? And if you say just buy fucking bonds and shit,
Houses?
bonds are negative yield now. You can't buy bonds. Bonds are a joke.
Definitely buy a new bicycle.
that would better your future. Your
It would-
near-term
it would.
future.
I would probably
Non-depreciating.
I think the first thing I would buy
It's
with
not because it's not a lot of money. It's a lot of money, but it's not like
It's not like it's not.
enough
It's
money.
it's enough money to make your life from like difficult to like a nice breathing period.
fuck yeah.
with 150.
But you can't set yourself up for
I think the thing I would do with
Retirement.
I think the thing I would do with 150 is put it all against my house. Probably
What do you mean?
What
Like
do you mean?
remortgage it?
You're gonna
No.
pay off your house.
pay it off. Yeah,
Are you serious?
I think so.
Fuck that.
You're serious?
I think so because
You're
then,
you're the one that's talking about the opposite. Taking money out of your
yeah,
house.
well, like we
Yeah,
were
but he
like
can-
we were saying,
if he
one,
can save
150,
money.
150, not really enough to, like, you can't just go full passive on 150 unless you come up with some really good investment vehicle.
yeah, not passive though.
Oh,
I'm not talking. Well, do whatever the fuck you want. I'm just saying. You were last week talking about taking money out of houses to buy other houses.
I would
and
honestly,
now you're gonna pay off.
I
your
would honestly
mortgage?
probably stay in cash with 150 for a little while and wait to see what the stock market does. If there's a vaccine for COVID, that 150, I mean, you can put that in a bond with, or not a bond, a decent stock with a dividend or an ETF with a dividend and cruise on it, I guess.
Fuck
Because
that.
150 is like, I don't know. What would you do with it?
I don't have an answer. That's why I wanted to know.
I think you'd put it.
I have multiple things that you could do.
Really depends on how long your time horizon is. If it's 10 years, I still think another property is a good idea at 150.
Would you buy? Would you consider buying like land, like in Nova Scotia.
I would put that under property.
Maybe.
I would.
No, I mean like fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Like I mean, would you consider that though?
Yes.
Like buying like acreage?
Yes.
I was looking up acreage today. It's fucking hard to find in Ontario acreage.
No, I
Unless
mean
you go.
like Nova Scotia.
Oh,
Because you can buy like
Nova
tons
Scotia
of
is probably
land
just
for
as hard.
200 grand.
I don't think that's true anymore.
Well, I mean, it's
probably maybe not around Halifax, but it's way fucking cheaper out there for sure. But
there's
I
just
don't know.
more work or nothing out there.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I don't think I'd buy land out there. I think that I was looking at today buying land up north. You can get like plots for like, I don't know, 80, 90 grand.
Near Powassan?
More south even. Maybe like an hour, even 2 hours more south of that.
Okay.
And then putting up like sheds or like whatever the fuck, and then doing like Airbnb rentals.
Ooh.
You know? Because like you can make a decent amount of money if you can buy one property and put like 4 like mini houses on it. But that's like, and like you could do that for less than 150 grand easy, and that's way more income. It's not passive though, because you're gonna be actually working at it, and it's only like 7 months of the year.
With 150, you could probably get into some low level private equity too, if you wanted to.
Maybe that would be real risky.
That's risky, but that's super high reward too.
I think also if you had a good idea, you could pay
Flesh it
Like-
out for 150.
3 like coders to work for a year
Yeah.
for you on
Yeah.
an idea that you had, and then if you take a year off, if you have savings, pay 3 people to work for a year for you on something, you could get a fucking lot done in a year if you had the idea.
What about at 150? If I was like 40 at 150, I would, especially if I was up at 80K, which I talked about before, you got to make double the amount of money your age is probably to be like coasting.
Oh yeah, okay.
I think so, yeah. So if you're making 80K at 40 years old, I hope I'm making more than that. I should be. But if I'm not, 80K at 40 years old, you would just tack on 10 or 12K to your annual salary, put the rest in some low interest, I mean, low compared to what we're talking about, but high compared to cash, interest account, and work less for the back half of your career.
How could you work less though?
Well, because you could just take that 12K.
Yeah, every year.
And so you just work less for 15
for
years.
not
But how do you
even.
work less? You just tell your job I'm not coming in?
Yeah, exactly.
I could not do that.
Oh,
You might be able to when you're that age.
I work for the
When
Fed.
you're that
dude.
deep in.
I know.
You might,
I know.
You'll be surprised. Like
Be like,
seniority
I'm only
does a lot
coming
of
in
shit.
3 days a week.
Yeah.
Or you come in, or you just reduce your hours per day.
You have to be valuable.
There's
to
ways.
company.
There's ways to do it. I don't know. I think there's like a balance between quality of life and generational wealth. I would love to do the Airbnb thing's a good idea.
Generational wealth is tough to come by. The only way that we're gonna see it if you live like working class,
Houses.
what we're doing is housing.
Houses.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. If you could, like, I think starting a company. I think that if I had 150 grand right now, I would go moonshot.
But you
probably.
just do that in your free time. Like that's all you do. Like every time I talk to you, you're like, "What are you doing tonight?" Well, it's something for a business I'm starting.
Yeah,
I would
exactly.
yeah, like
probably.
that's your thing.
I would
Yeah.
take 150 grand. I would wait 7 or however many years it takes me to get my master's electrician, and then I would use that to invest. I would just invest it for
Education is another one.
No, it's not even. I'm already done that shit. Like I'm in an apprenticeship, so I would just take the 150K, invest it, and hopefully get whatever, even mutual funds, even
But
just
what
like
you could buy it if for 7-year horizon. You could buy a house
I could.
and then or a rental and just like rent it out.
Yeah,
And
so
then-
I would do something along those lines, make money, and then pull it out, and then put it all into a business. Because like if it's just like an extra 150 G's or whatever it turns into,
yeah,
put it in because like I don't like I'm just gonna do what I'm doing anyway plus 150K off the top.
right.
I would probably just invest it into myself and try to start my own business. 150 grand would
Yeah.
be a nice little jump start for a business.
That's my whole thing. Is I would try to use the 150K to become financially free from.
Independent.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
150 G. Like,
Yeah.
man, like, that's
You would
that's
take
enough money to do that.
take your moonshot, eh? You would just
It's enough
fucking
money
go.
to do that. It's enough money to do that. You could do the
Is
safe route.
150 enough to do that?
It's enough to fucking. It's
Depends.
better than having like it's. If I had 150 grand right now, I have a lot better odds of becoming financially free from what the fuck I have right now in my bank.
Yeah, but you could do like if you like starting electrical. I don't know how the fuck much it would cost, but like if you, the shit that you're going to be doing at the beginning, you don't need that much of an investment.
But no, you need overhead.
not that much though.
You need like it's not cheap
For electrical, you would.
for what
for
though?
the material.
Tools, materials,
Yeah, but the materials
insurance,
expensive as fuck.
insurance.
Yeah,
But, like,
yeah,
you-
but the
you,
insurance
like-
is like going to be like a couple hundred
That's-
a month,
okay.
maybe.
Is that what it costs? I have no
It's
idea
not
what
a
it
lot.
costs.
So
I have
the guy,
no
the guy I
idea.
was working with, he might have been. He had like just in this little job he was doing, just helping him out, right? All I was doing was like digging and whatever. I wasn't doing any electrical work or anything like that. Just helping him out. He might have had $2,000 invested of his own money in it, just on material and like a permit and yada yada yada, because you had to buy a permit, pay for a permit, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Fucking stressing the fuck out, man. Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had 150 G's, you can do you just have to. If you have that extra cushion of money, that kind of takes that stress away.
Fuck yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's only 2 G's though. You could put 40
small
grand.
job.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're not going to be doing these huge jobs when you just start. You
No.
want to be doing small jobs for a while.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm saying if you put like 40 grand into like a truck and like a bunch of all your equipment,
Oh, yeah.
new tools, all that shit, and have a nice cushion, you could put the other 100 into like a house or even 2 houses, 2 down payments on a house.
I don't think I'd want to. I think I'd only do one.
To start? You could
Just one house, because it's 150 grand, and like we're saying a 20% down payments, like for a $350,000 house, what 60 grand?
It's a lot.
It's a lot of money, right? So you if you want to have 2 houses on the go, like you got like nice fucking $1,800 mortgage payments coming in. You're like,
Depends on where you get them. If
Well,
you get
yeah,
them,
but
like Will's
regardless.
describing, you could put a fucking shipping container in some of these places up north, and people would rent them for $1,000 a weekend.
Man, I was looking at
you got to
yurts.
do like that though.
Yurts?
Man. Yurts. I think
It's
that's
like tents, like
yurts are legit. They're super legit.
they're like fucking
It's
massive teepees, right? Like
Kinda, yeah. Though I went to like the site and
like at my house, our yurt.
it's like that with like a dome,
roof
like a
on
roof,
it.
but
A
it's like way
proper-
more legit. It's like 20 grand for like a legit.
Yeah, fuck
yurt.
it. Well, it's like good material and
It's
whatever.
a winterized too. You can
Yeah,
winterize a
fuck,
yurt.
I think that's
probably
probably.
20
I think
grand.
that's probably less than I thought it was for one of those.
I know.
Winterized and everything.
And
yeah.
I designed it
And
too with
people
like
are
windows,
down.
French doors and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
People
what
are
I'm saying.
down.
You could fucking play up the aesthetic of a
Fuck
yurt
yeah, you
so
could.
much.
Instagram
Easy
is
too.
all people care about.
Exactly.
Man.
Take a few pictures and
Dude, you just put like a nice little
Yeah, they do.
interior, little fucking chill room.
Yeah.
People will fucking eat that up, man.
Exactly. And you
That
start
is
an
a
Instagram
good
for it and shit.
idea.
That is a good idea.
It's a fucking really good idea.
Well,
Anyway,
you
we'll
could-
cut this part of the show.
You
We'll
could
talk
also
about it.
you could also probably start like some business locally that you knew there was demand for without too much difficulty, right? Because most of the time something like that is the only thing really holding you back is the initial capital investment, whether it's
Definitely.
production or whatever, right?
Well, because you got like I don't know, what do you got liquid to start a business with? Like right now, maybe you got a couple $1,000 to fucking play with, right?
Tops, yeah.
And like if you got 150K, you got like that's enough money. Like forget it, like 150 grand, you can just without even thinking be like, oh yeah, I can do that, can do that, can do that.
The coding thing is an
Yeah.
interesting idea because there's no real
Coding stuff,
there's
man.
no overhead there. You tell them what the end
you
is
just-
supposed
you
to
just
look
have
like
to
and
know
do,
that.
and they just figure it out.
In a year, that's
Oh,
like
you're
a
talking
lot.
about
a long
paying
time.
coders?
I'm saying if you pay, you could use 150 grand. You could pay 3 people 50 grand a year, and to code something for you a
Yeah.
whole fucking year. 3 people coding. Like if you have an idea in your head,
Would you do 3 people for 1 year or 1 person for 3 years?
3.
I don't know.
3. You need 2 sets of eyes on code.
You think?
yeah, and I think
3.
you'd want to be like, I'd want it to like come to fruition. After 3 years, I'd be like, let's fucking go, because it's
Yeah.
also 3 years that I wouldn't be making a salary if
Right.
I'm working on it too.
But yeah.
But like, I don't have that idea.
Did you ever
That's
take
just
that
something I
coding
thought.
course?
No,
No. I was thinking about that the other day. I still kind of want to do
It's
it.
a lot. You're learning a new language.
I thought about it, but
That's
it's like
alright.
I'll never get to the point. I don't think where I can code something better than someone I can pay.
You say that, but if
Low
you're just
amount of
coding
money
like an
for it.
app or something, you know what I thought about the other day? Coding for like widgets on the Google Play Store. Because the Google Play Store sells, like a lot of guys sell widget packs for like $1 each.
Yeah,
You sell 100 fucking widget packs. It took you a night to do it once you got proficient at
if
it.
you got exactly.
I think it'd be, and it's a good skill to have too.
Well,
like,
people
generally
make so
speaking.
much money doing that shit. Like, because I use Shopify, I use Wix, I use like all that shit.
Wix,
even
yeah.
like WordPress and stuff. There's so many add-ons that like are just third-party add-ons that work with Wix. It's like, well, obviously like Stripe, it's like accept payments with Stripe, but there's so many other things. It's like an add-on that just when they click your page, like a fucking pop-up comes up, and it's
Right.
like the email subscribe thing. That's an add-on that someone just coded and put in there, and you can pay for it.
We were just talking about that for Wayside not too long ago because we got to fundraise this walk and we want to start a landing page with that exact thing.
Something else.
Got to fundraise this walk. And so yeah, we want to do a landing page with one of those things. I didn't even think about that. That's part of the reason I want to do it is because I think it would help me in other like the other stuff I do generally. Yeah. Also, coding, man. Like for all the stuff I've learned in the last 10 years, whether it was stuff professionally, personally, audio, video, stuff like that. coding is the one thing I really should have taken more seriously and didn't.
Yeah, same
And
here.
so I really should do it and start doing it. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I had a coding course in school. I didn't give a fuck about it.
Does anybody at the time?
I got like there was like one of my lowest marks.
Yeah.
For sure, easily. Didn't give a
It's
fuck.
fucking hard, man.
So fucking hard.
It is
And
hard.
it's
yeah.
so fucking different from everything else. Every
That's-
other one of our classes.
It's the problem is it's not intuitive. Like,
It's also-
not, like it doesn't
it's
make
also
sense.
Bullshit that you fucking like you took that and you're gonna focus on that when you're taking a mechanical engineering degree.
Yeah, exactly.
You just want to get the pass. Like fuck, I can't focus on it because you have to.
Yeah.
you have to dial in on that shit.
yeah, exactly.
which is a nice segue.
What to
Yeah?
what?
You want to
To
go
my
into it?
note.
What are you dialing in on? We have,
Probably about
no,
an
we have
hour.
no stock of you today. We're an hour in.
I got a note.
Okay,
Yeah,
go,
give her.
go ahead, Mark. Oh fuck! What is that receipt? Am I gonna need that receipt later?
Yeah, it came from your house.
Fortinos if you're gonna go return groceries.
I don't need that.
So I was fucking.
You gotta show that to the camera.
I've been thinking about this.
what, show them what you wrote. Show the camera what you wrote. It's just one piece of text on a Fortino's receipt from God only knows when. Very small.
Which I bet you can with my doctor's my chicken scratch. I was just like, I've been thinking about this. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. You've been thinking about that, which is productive. I've been thinking about this.
This ought to be good.
Okay.
Okay. You know how like do you like I want to fucking be in a situation where I'm like so fucking dialed in
Okay.
that like you know what I mean? Like you can't.
I couldn't read that if I tried. I don't think.
Are you covering it? I'm
Yeah,
looking
I'm
at. I'm
covering
looking at the levels. I'm not looking at that.
Yeah, like I want like
It's
so
an hour in now, it
fucking
doesn't matter,
dialed
but-
in that like you can't like you only can think about this, and this is the one scenario that I've thought about
This is gonna upset
that
me.
I've thought about. That's been like that's probably it. That's like you couldn't be more focused.
So this is gonna be your thing.
No. This is where I would like. I want to be in one of these situations, but it's never gonna happen.
Okay.
When you're in a high stakes negotiation where
You
like
watch
where
the
your
Suits again?
where your life is on the line.
Your
Like,
life.
yeah.
Negotiating for your life.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like someone's got a gun to your head and you like, got to talk them down?
No, well,
That's a high stakes negotiation.
that is a high stakes negotiation, but like, I mean,
You're trying to close
This
a
is
deal
like-
on a building, but if you don't, you
So-
die? Like, what is it?
so I quote it all the time, but man, Peaky Blinders is one scene.
I've been
Fucking,
watching that.
they go.
Are they paying you under the table and we're
Man,
not
it's,
getting
just,
any
it's
money
my
from
favorite
them?
fucking show, man.
Okay.
It's like it's getting
All
me
right.
like it's making me really like money a lot.
Is this the one where he uses the patsy outside?
Yeah, fuck
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
No, that is a
third
negotiation.
season?
That is a negotiation, but
For
like,
his life, too.
dude, but it's before that. I
Okay.
think because like, when Tommy first meets Alfie,
Okay.
he's just like, I know you do a deal or death, and he's just like, because if he doesn't make a deal, he just kills the guy.
Right, yeah.
So
yeah,
he's
yeah.
going into that negotiation knowing if he doesn't accept it, he's fucking getting shot in the head.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what you mean. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's like that would be like imagine being in a negotiation like that. Like I would be hauling cigarettes. I would just be
yeah.
like fuck.
this is a Mark's note about nicotine consumption.
No, I would just that's what I would have to do.
Fuck yeah, you would.
Like you because you have to be fucking so dialed in. Like I'm like I like that's all I could think of like is what thing, what activity, what pursuit would you have me so fucking dialed in that that's all I can think about. I can't
in
I
the
don't have to-
moment. You're talking about
Yeah.
in the moment?
You cannot. Nothing else comes in. It's not even.
Well,
not
yeah, I
even
guess
a
not.
question that it's coming in.
Yeah.
This is what I'm doing.
Yeah, you're not
and
like-
that's it.
Oh, man, me and my girlfriend have been fighting. Like,
No,
fuck
never.
yeah, you're
Nothing.
Just,
Just,
like,
this.
I got to survive
Just
this.
that. Yeah. Like I have to make a deal with this guy or I die.
And you can't, yeah. But the thing is, like, Thomas Shelby wasn't just like, I got to make a deal with this guy or I die. He's like, I got to make it, and I got to make it worth my
Yeah.
while.
Is
Fuck
Shelby
it.
the character, the main character?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man. It's.
So you want to be in a situation like this?
No. I'm just saying. I want to be like that dialed in.
Oh.
Oh, but imagine
That's
being,
the only thing I could think of.
So
that
how
would
do
be
you
there.
so how do you get to that dialed in?
Fucking. That's the only thing that I could think of. You guys got.
you have to have a gun to your head to be that
like
dialed
fucking.
in.
How, like.
Jeez.
Like I have a lot more attention disabilities than you guys. I would imagine.
We should talk about this is in the same vein. This like the zone, right?
Kind of. Yeah.
Like that. What is there's a name for this, and I can't remember what it is.
Deep work.
Outer
Is that what it is? Deep work, where like
Deep work.
where like you're just operating at another level.
Oh, because sometimes I'll be like, okay, I'm going into like 45 minutes of deep work and shut everything off and just like go head first and just do work.
See,
Yeah.
but you have the option to just do that.
It
To me,
sucks.
it just happens. Like,
Doesn't
I don't.
it?
It doesn't like I don't I don't choose.
Really?
I just like look up. I'm like, it's been 2 hours.
This is what
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
what Adderall does. The one time I took Adderall to
Right, exactly.
do a resume, it's like 4 hours.
You took Adderall to do a resume.
Oh yeah.
My resume must be pathetic.
Probably.
I hate my fucking
you need a good
resume.
resume.
I don't know how to do a fucking resume.
I know, me neither.
My resume is so shit.
Special resume episode coming
Fuck,
up.
man. I need to actually.
Let's not badger Mike's resume.
It's
I
bad.
want to.
I'll
I want to
badger
know.
it.
I want to know more about this because the zone is something. For all the shit
insane.
for all the shit we've talked about how to get things done and like what to focus on, we've never talked about being in the zone.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, not really.
But the zone is like
It's a thing.
it's unmistakable
It's
when
a
you're
thing.
in it too.
It's also hard to get into.
It is
Fucking
It
impossible.
is.
Like I have to think about being in a negotiation with my life on the line to get into it.
But you've done it though.
I've been in it.
You've done it. You've done it playing sports.
Yeah,
right.
well,
Yeah,
sports
sports for sure.
is probably one of the only things that I can think of, and maybe one time studying. One time.
Yeah.
Once?
Once in college,
Man, I think it
and I was crushing
was it at Mac.
I didn't.
No,
want
it was that. Oh, that was that. I was fucking in the zone there.
I think you have to. Yeah, you have to put yourself in the environment. I
Fuck
think,
yeah.
You know.
Fuck yeah.
I can't just be like sitting at my computer and being like, I'm gonna go. Like, I try to do that and go to deep work, but like, if you really like set up an area and are like, this is for work, I'm gonna go and do work here.
Why do you call it deep work?
Because that's a good.
That's what I've heard. I think that's what-
layman's-
Is that?
Elon Musk
I've
calls
never read that before.
pretty layman's? I would think
That is good. I got it right away, but I've never heard it called
I'm
that.
pretty sure that's
I
it.
kind of like that too.
I think Elon Musk has said that. That's probably where I got it.
I would call it dialed in.
Is Elon
then, yeah,
is Elon in deep work when he's taunting the Securities and Exchange Commission on Twitter? You think?
It can't be.
What
Unless
about
that's
when
his
he's
deep
What about
work
when
is.
he's hauling joints on Joe Rogan?
Nope.
He didn't.
What
even
about that
inhale
one? What about that one awkward Rogan clip when Rogan's like, "Huh, pretty cool."
I hate that whole interview.
Well, he's just like some socially.
What about when he's
dude.
dancing on stage at the Tesla
That is one of the
convention?
best. He's
Oh, I
in
didn't
deep
even
work
see
there
that.
hard.
What about when he?
yeah.
What about when the baseball goes through Tesla's
That's
bulletproof
amazing. I
window?
love that.
Is
That
that
is a
deep
great
work?
joke.
Trying to think about when I've seen Elon in deep work. Was he
I
in
don't know.
deep work when he was thinking about how to replace his
He just
hair
hate him,
loss?
eh?
Me?
Hates.
I like Elon.
I don't hate him.
I like
just-
Elon. I like Elon. I like him. I think he's
I
pretty
think
cool.
Elon Musk has been in deep work for 75% of his life.
Yeah.
shows.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
what I mean.
fucking
He's
right.
socially awkward. Right?
Exactly.
Like that extra 30% he should have been socializing. He was just working.
He may have a hard time coming out of deep work.
Yes.
That's the
why he's
problem.
he's like talking to you, but he's like still like coming
Yeah.
down from his work site.
Coming down.
Yeah, he's coming down from his zone time.
and like I appreciate that as a guy on the complete opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I'm
Don't
like
sell yourself
never in
short.
it.
Do you think when you're at work doing wiring, you don't think about what you're doing? You're just fucking.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Yeah, that's deep work.
I don't think so.
I think
that-
deep work is
That's
when
just
you-
like muscle memory. I'm just like I know what I'm doing.
I don't know. You're making judgments that you don't even realize you're making.
I don't know
I
if
think
it's
about
deep
it.
work,
I think about like the zone is such a weird deep work. The zone, whatever, is such a weird thing. The thing that I think about when I think about that is not work related at all. It's
Really?
it's basketball fast breaks.
Oh, yeah.
That's really when I think like I'm
You
not
don't have time.
I'm not thinking about
Exactly,
I'm
yeah.
not thinking like I can see it. Like I can just picture what's going on around me
Right.
all the time. Is it possible you're in deep work while you're driving?
I think so. That's why
Sometimes,
road
yeah.
rage is apparent. Because
Yeah,
everyone's
yeah.
like immediate, so immediate.
throws you
Fuck
off?
you, man. 'Cause
Throws you off?
Your senses are so high because you're doing something that's not natural to do.
right.
Like driving isn't natural. Like I'm immediately the second somebody does something fucking wrong, I'm pissed.
It like startles you a little bit.
You're just like, what the like?
Yeah.
it's like being woken up from a sleep. Almost.
Yeah, a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, because you're so like you go in like most of your life you're in fucking autopilot.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's why it's it's fantasy to be like so fucking dialed in because like I'm just so used to just going through the motions, just getting through
Exactly.
the day. Like when you're dialed in, it's like, oh fuck yeah, like and then you think that and you're fucked. You're like, oh yeah,
I
there it
know.
goes.
Yeah.
Which is like that's hilarious how the brain works like that. Like I do really like being dialed in, man. It's like one of my favorite things. Like when you get like even if you're not like completely in the zone. You're just like you're doing it anyway. You're just kind of like you're fighting to get there. It's like
Yeah.
meditation's like that too.
Kinda.
Like meditation definitely is like that, but it's like meditation. You're just doing inner work. You're just kind of sitting there. You're not like doing something, which I don't like meditation. I like fucking doing like reaching an end, like going
It's
for
not
something.
quantitative.
What about trying to fall
I
asleep?
guess it is, but like
Is trying to fall asleep in the same vein as this? Like, are you trying to like unbusy your mind and you have a hard time doing it before you go to bed?
it's like next to impossible.
It is hard
Yeah,
sometimes,
that's
right?
fucking hard. I don't know. That is different. And I would argue that like you're in the zone when you play hockey, but I wouldn't say that's deep work. I think that's the difference between
You're
in the zone and
atmosphere,
deep
you're
work.
in the
You're like,
environment of fucking like fast decisions and
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
everyone's
Okay.
doing it, right?
Yeah, like you might be doing something sort of productive, I guess, but like I think it just has to be like sort of creative. Like you have to be problem solving is kind of how I define deep work. Like you're
Okay.
working on a problem, which I guess you kind of are when you're playing sports too. But I don't see it like that.
Is this not what makes deep work so valuable? That it's impossible almost to define and to get there. But when
Yeah.
you get there, it's obvious that you're there.
It's you can't.
Yeah.
It's unmistakable. Like, oh, I'm doing it. I'm killing it right
It's like
now.
it's like
Especially-
pornography, right? I can't define pornography for you, but I know it when I see it.
I don't know. There's probably a
and so,
clear
like,
definition
sex
of
on
that.
film.
And so like you, I don't think it's that black and white anymore.
Oh, yeah.
I think that deep work
Fellatio?
is an interesting concept because everyone's trying to get
Do
there.
you think
Yeah.
a porn star?
Everyone
is in,
knows-
deep work when she's really just gunning it.
She's in deep work.
She's in deep. She's really fucks.
There's so many pornos named deep work.
That's true. Yeah. It's funny that for all the time we spent, knowing and understanding like how valuable that 45 minutes or whatever is,
Yeah.
no one seems to have like a reliable way to get there.
I don't know. You just said Adderall.
Adderall works.
yeah, but
it
that's
does work,
meth.
but it's a drug.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
know,
you mean like without drugs?
yeah, like I couldn't get there
People
on a Friday afternoon if
people
I
like
wanted to,
people
right?
Right,
like
yeah,
to say-
exactly.
people like to say they do through like meditation and blah blah blah, blah but I'm like, it doesn't matter.
They're lying.
Like you can practice getting into that I'm not going to be broken kind of mindset, like no distractions kind of thing. But like the second you think, like, oh, I'm doing it, there it goes. You're out. You're now fucked up.
Yeah.
You're lesser now because you're thinking about what you're doing.
Are you not-
Which is an extra thought.
Are you not as well? I know you're like this because we talked about it before. I don't know if you're like this too, Will. I find that I'm like this at least half the time. If I'm working on something that requires, problem solving is almost too gentle a term, but like some outside the box thinking. I'm looking at something and I'm using the tools that usually work and they're not working. It doesn't help me to shut everything out. What helps me is to bring more in, go for a walk, play with the dog, do something else, go work out.
Really?
Yeah. And then I think about,
come back to it.
think about something somewhere else, or I think about something while I'm doing something else.
Yeah.
And something clicks, right? Or for me, especially, this happens to me. It used to happen to me all the time. Fortunately, I don't have this problem anymore. But I remember when I was a kid paying cell phone bills when I was like 20 years old. And I remember thinking that, oh man, another bill came in. Like I hate getting my cell phone bill. And I used to freak in my mind when I got them because it was money I didn't want to spend on that, or I had already spent on something else or whatever, right? Especially in university, you got, a couple bucks in your bank account at all times. So you don't want to spend on your fucking phone.
$2.
It was always a problem.
One
when
tap could be the last. tap.
Exactly. I didn't even have tap when I was a kid.
One insert
It was
could be the last. insert.
it was a problem until I took 10 minutes and went to do something else. And then I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? This is not that. I have a solution for this now. Like there's another budget.
Yeah, because you
item
kind of
that-
get a little
Yeah.
reset. I do that all the time.
And like budgeting is an easy one, but there's problems too. Like, I think about things for work, for example, or for Wayside, or for the podcast. Like I remember the first time I sat to edit audio, like I fucking hated every minute of it. It was fucking impossible to do. And you realize when you're out doing something else that not only is the problem you have not so serious, but there's something you didn't think about when you're just sitting at your computer for the second hour or whatever, right?
Well, I think
Looking at a
a
screen.
change of scenery is definitely a thing. Like it
It
definitely,
engages your mind in different perspectives.
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
It's like sitting there trying to think of something and you can't find the answer. Like you're just gonna continue sitting there in front of your computer thinking. Like it's gonna become unproductive at some point, and that's when you have to stand up and kind of move away.
You'll get
and
frustrated.
yeah, exactly.
Man, I've had problems like that have bothered me for like I'm a huge fan of like alternate perspectives. Like I appreciate them so much because like I'm usually pretty one track.
Like looking
and
at
then I hear
something
a
through
different
someone
thing.
else's.
But it could be anything, right? Like I've had problems that have bothered me for fucking years, and this is like for people that I would say if you have a fucking problem that's really bugging you, I would recommend doing mushrooms.
Yeah.
Not kidding,
A
because
lot of people say that.
man,
You're
it's
not alone.
fucking crazy. Like you just sit there, you because you think about this. Like if you have something that's bugging you, like in your personal life or anything like that, that's really bugging you, you think about it the same way every fucking day.
Yeah.
You think the same fucking way. Then you eat fungus that fucking does some weird shit to your brain, and now you like it's just being like, hey, by the way, here's this angle. If you didn't know.
I think it's like you live your reality constantly, but you can sugarcoat it in real life. But when you're on mushrooms, that's the real reality.
Here you go,
and
right
you're
here.
fucking hard on yourself.
Oh yeah, fuck it sucks, but it's like, man, it helps. Like there's like clinical like studies that it helps depression and shit.
Yeah.
Because people that are depressed, like things are mundane, everything's repetitive, it's the same shit.
Really?
They do mushrooms and they're like, oh, what the fuck? I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
And they go, oh yeah, because like man, like I did it and I was like dealing with it was a breakup fucking thing that was bugging me for a couple years, and I was like, fucking, I can't deal with this. It's
Couple
like,
of years.
well, yeah, like it was just like it wasn't like it was just there all the time, like a nagging injury. It was fucking there. I'm like, fucking what the fuck is this? Like, why? Did mushrooms? I'm like, oh yeah, true. And then it went away.
Yeah.
Like it was just like that easy. It was like, oh, I just, oh,
There's like a lot of
crazy, man. And you just see it from a different view, and you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
There's a lot of problems I think in life, mushrooms or not, that when you experience them for the first time, they seem greater than really they are. And this is like
they are.
this is like when
You
you're a
have
kid
perspective
too.
afterwards.
It's incredible.
Dude,
But the even more incredible thing is when you start to realize on first glance that the problem is not that big.
Man,
yeah.
That's
I
like
came
a
up with a theory of that
mind-breaking
today.
moment.
I was thinking about this fucking today.
Mark's theories.
Mark's theories, Mark's strategies, Mike's notes, Mark's whatever you want. I was just thinking. I was like,
newsletter in the podcast immediately.
I was sitting there. I was like, you have. I think it's like every fucking decade, and like at least your first decade doesn't really count because you're a fucking child. But after that, like shit starts happening. Like puberty hits, high school, this and that. Then you become a master of that shit. Okay, new decade, new
right.
chapter, boom. Then you could become this. And I'm like, I'm looking back at my early 20s. I'm starting to get to the point now where I'm like almost in my 30s. I'm looking back at my 20s. I'm like, what the fuck is a fucking cakewalk? You hit your 30s, house, kids, fucking
Yeah.
this shit's coming down the pipe. Boom, boom. Then you're gonna fucking master that. You'll be 40s. I don't even know what the fuck happens at 40. Like, I don't know.
I don't
What?
know,
Like,
ask Joe.
he's close. You
I'll
know what
tell
I
you,
mean?
man,
I
I'll
think
tell
you
you-
become a master of a decade, then you go back, new problems. I was
I
like,
I think
Fred-
that's more
crazy.
so. Like, I think that's young. I don't know. I always because like you always think of that like in your 20s, like ah man, when I was a teenager, I was a fucking idiot.
You look back.
and now it's like man, when I was 21, 22, I was a fucking idiot.
It's crazy.
But do you think that you'll ever get to the point where you're like, this is me?
Yeah,
and
when
this
you're
is
80,
like,
I'm
this
there.
is like.
I'm
when
there.
you're, I
I think
thought
I'm
like
there
when you're
now.
80 and you're chilling.
I think I'm there now.
can't-
I think I'm there now too. But
I think
like,
I'm there now.
You don't know. You haven't. You don't have a kid yet.
I
Yeah.
think basically the
You
thing,
have a kid yet.
the
Waiting
thing-
for that.
The thing that triggers that is like when you put roots down somewhere, like whether for me it's here with your sister, whether it's at your job or whatever. Once you start putting real roots down and like that personality you have and you've developed starts to
Sink in. You can be yourself.
but it just starts to pay dividends, right? Real dividends, not
like from this podcast.
or not even that.
Can't
but
wait
like,
to put my roots down for this.
just think about, you put roots down. You
Pay
put roots down
dividends.
when you're in your early 20s, right? What are your goals? Your early 20s. Get laid. That's it. That's
I
the
don't know.
list.
I had different goals.
Get shredded. Get
I had
breaded.
different goals. I'll be
Get
honest with
laid.
you. I had
That's
different
it.
goals, and I wasn't achieving them, so it was like causing major depression.
But this is it, right? So
failing
you
constantly.
have
Fuck.
you have a couple
Yeah.
of goals in your 20s that sort of remain there. Like you don't carry them with you the older you get. You know what I mean?
Your ambitions change hard, though.
Of course. And
Yeah.
so I think once your ambitions become
Long term.
And the
that,
focus.
that's it. Once your time horizon changes,
you dial
that's
in on
that's when you start to dig in, right?
sure.
That's when you start to dig in.
bro.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
that's
saying.
where it is. I think
For sure.
I'll speak from experience here. You guys are coming up on this. The thing I think I will struggle with
Joey's fucking
more than
delving
any
out some stoic wisdom.
more than anything else, the thing I think I will struggle with is losing athleticism because it's just been such a huge part of my
Never
life.
happened to me.
It will.
I was
It will.
never,
It's-
but I was never that good.
See,
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I'm
I
not
could just coast through.
I'm not saying I'm the best athlete ever, but for sure,
said that
especially
before.
no, but especially the way I play.
You've definitely said
well, it's
that.
funny, man. Like I hear people tell me, like, I can't believe you still play like that, like a jitterbug playing football or like basketball. Or you
Right.
guys playing hockey, right? Like
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to crush people open ice for another 10 years.
Well, they
Mike.
took hitting out.
Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're not
Yeah,
going to be able to do
I
it.
guess.
At some point, you're going to have to like come to terms with reality that
I think
it
you
can-
noticed the decline more because you're playing field sports.
I haven't noticed
Hockey's
it. I haven't.
different.
To be fair, I haven't noticed it yet.
I will tell you the like from a guy who just plays hockey to coming to play football.
Yeah.
I am never sore after hockey.
Yeah, no, fuck no.
I am in stitches.
But you're sore after football?
Every
Oh, yeah,
fucking
fuck yeah.
game. I show up sore.
Cleats are not. We're not meant to be.
No, man.
wearing
Like,
cleats,
man, like
for
I
sure.
fucking run. I do sprints and I
It's
blow my
starting.
quads.
It's starting and stopping.
blow
all the
my
time,
quads
right?
out
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
fucking game.
I just think that's the tricky part, and it's gonna hit. Like, it didn't really hit our parents that hard, I don't think, because there wasn't the same level of like organized competition
You just gotta
that
play
there is
different
now.
games.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah, you
You
have
got to
to
start playing golf.
You'll have to
Exactly,
to get that instinct out somewhere else. But I think that's going to be tough for a lot of guys our age, especially guys who are like us, like fit, still do a lot of shit, like climbing and stuff, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like
You
I
could-
can only, like,
I don't know. You could maintain that shit. You just
I
got to be
think
diligent.
I really
Yeah.
think that at 35, whether you're diligent or not, you're gonna start feeling your shoulders and elbows.
You're gonna feel
I just think
You're
it's
gonna
not.
feel it.
Oh, fuck yeah. But I don't know. You just look to like, there's like guys that are like in their 50s, 60s at the
Crushing
climbing
it.
gym.
Still
and, like,
climbing, yeah.
Yeah.
Climbing well.
So,
Yeah.
so there's ways to maintain. I just
Those
yeah.
are probably the
But
lucky ones.
we have to rely on technique as opposed to raw athleticism.
There are
That's
Yeah.
all
where
I'm-
I fail.
yeah,
Like,
all-
I'm raw athleticism in every sport I do.
all I'm saying is there's gonna be dances you do with yourself as you kind of watch the things that have defined you fade away.
Oh yeah.
And one of those things is going to be athleticism for guys our age, I think. And I don't know, like,
Well, it's a
you
hit to
know,
the ego, for
you know,
sure.
yeah. And who knows when it's going to start, right? Like, I've been pretty lucky, like you guys are saying, right? Diligence is important. Like, I still eat well, I still work out, all that stuff. And so I've been fortunate, right? Along with some good genetics, I think. But a lot of guys, we've spoken many times on the show about how you've watched your friends in the last 2 or 3 years
See you later.
completely vanish in terms of like their
Yeah.
physical.
Well, it's hard to see people like that's what like bums me out the most is people just letting go or this early.
It sucks.
It's
I'm like,
so
yeah,
fucking early.
dude.
It's like
I'm like,
way too
man,
It's
early.
way too early,
It's way
man.
too early.
Way too early.
You're, what are you, 27?
Yeah,
28?
I'm
Like,
bro,
you're
we still have
so
fucking,
young.
Like, high levels of testosterone.
Man,
like,
like-
come on, man. Like,
You know what's funny though? Like me and you, always play sports with older guys. So no matter what age we are, we've always been the young kids.
the young
Yeah.
kids.
So,
I'm
like,
dude,
we
I'm
play-
fucking almost 30. Bro.
Yeah,
like,
we play hockey with the same guys now. Some of the guys are getting like maybe like mid-late 30s,
Oh,
and
it's
like
driving
we're
me crazy.
getting older too, but we're still the young guys.
kids on
so
the
now
team,
we
yeah.
have still to be at the
it's
energetic
kind of
guys.
decent though. Like it kind of keeps you in check.
It does
Fuck
for
yeah,
sure.
it does. Even like
Does
with
for sure.
football, like we're like the young guys, and like even though we never played football before, it's like yeah, but you guys are decent. You're
You guys
young
can
kids.
run,
Like,
I'll tell you what,
fuck, man.
I enjoy you rushing at football, but playing indoor when I have to rush and play receiver, man, like having those guys lean on you at what am I, 32 years old? All those other guys are in their 40s. Like Pete is not. He's barely moving most of the downs,
Yeah.
right? He catches,
Yeah.
throws,
Yeah.
catches, throws.
Yeah.
But they're relying on guys in our demo. 20. What are you? 27, 28,
27.
27. So
Will just
27
turned
to
29 yesterday. Happy
27.
belated.
Happy belated to Will.
it's all good.
27 to 33 or 34. And the guys you see on Saturdays are coming out, they're fucking 20 years
Like 18,
old,
yeah.
man. They're 20 years
yeah.
old.
And
And
like,
they're
the-
talking shit.
But the
dude.
older
The whole
guys,
game.
but the older guys, like they look at us and they're like, "Yeah, you're on the young guy." It's like that guy's 9 years younger than me.
Yeah,
like,
he's a kid.
It's a little different.
And it's just like, and the thing is too, like with those young kids that come in talking shit. Like I can't do it in football, but in hockey, I'm so down because you can react in hockey. You want to
Yeah.
fucking beak off? I'll show you what's up. You want like you're playing in a men's league now, buddy. Like I had to go through this.
30's
Yeah.
got to be about peak for hockey, right? That's like strength, athleticism.
I don't know.
brains.
Whatever fucking you gain, whatever. Like I think
Gotta
like
be
with
30.
with lifting, like you get like max lifts in like your early 30s.
Is that
like
right?
33, 32.
Oh, yeah.
You get fucking heavy lifts.
But I
in.
think like the NHL players, like their prime, it's like
Oh, yeah.
23,
Yeah. I'm
24,
just saying,
25.
like,
Like,
strength.
20, like maybe 24 to 28.
Yeah?
I think.
Yeah.
28's pretty late. 28's pretty
Yeah.
late.
but
Yeah.
but like well fucking look at like what's Crosby and Ovechkin? They're like 31.
Crosby's,
Yeah.
Crosby's
And, like,
33.
Ovi-
Crosby's 33.
So Ovi's 33 too. He looks like
Yeah.
he's like 49.
Yeah.
He's just a grizzled vet. It's
Yeah.
fucking hilarious. He's like your age.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hilarious.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just like,
I
He
think
looks like he could be your dad.
I actually think Ovechkin's a year older than me.
and he's fucking
He
still
looks like he's
popping
40
50.
years
He would've
older,
fucking
yeah.
got the scoring record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If COVID didn't hit.
That's
the guy's
right,
Fucking,
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he's honestly probably my favorite hockey player.
Yeah.
I fucking love Ovechkin.
Well, they're
Just
gonna
what he-
they're
just
gonna
everything
finish
he
the season,
represents.
right? They're gonna finish the
Yeah,
season.
but it doesn't count.
No?
It's not the same. Which is
Well,
it's
they're
a
going
bummer
straight to
for him,
playoffs.
because he was on pace to just like crush it.
I'm ready for the sports bubble to come back.
Fuck
Give me
yeah.
all
Oh,
that
man,
shit. Come
God, I'm
August,
so
I'll just
ready
be
to watch.
buckled. I'll be buckled in for
Man,
sure.
I'm
I've been golf is on. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I cannot. Every Thursday I'm coming home like, oh, it's on.
I was listening to a gambling podcast, and these guys talk about football and basketball all season long, and they just did almost 2 hours today on golf,
Man,
beating the book on golf.
dude, it's fucking.
I listened to the
joke.
whole thing. It was good.
You
It
guys
was
are
good.
getting, like the old vets, like the old golfers are getting so pissed because these courses are getting crushed because like Bryson DeChambeau today, 420-yard drive.
Wow.
On a 480-yard hole.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah, like he on like fucking like he's fucking hitting
Holy
a pitching
fuck.
wedge on a deep par 4
So
on the
how?
second shot.
So why are they mad?
They're
Because the
getting
older
pissed
guys,
because
the older
they're
guys can
playing
only
it.
hit 350.
Because they're playing 350's huge. Like,
Oh,
they're,
yeah.
like they're just pissed because that's not how these courses are supposed to be played. They want it to be played properly, right? Like you got to go fucking hit the dog leg and then hit your irons out.
okay,
These guys
okay.
are fucking just right over the trees, just cutting it down.
Let
and,
them
like,
do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, but they're
man.
pissed. It's like, it's not how it's supposed to be played. And
The
Oh,
blah,
what?
spirit,
So
the
they're-
spirit of the game sounds to me like you're just mad your bank account's going to be a little
That's right.
thin.
They're pissed. I'm like, then the guy's talking
What a
to
fucking
Jack
joke.
Nichols. Jack Nichols was on today. First of all, I could barely understand the fucking guy. He's-
Nichols or Nicholas?
Yeah.
Jack Nicholas?
Yeah. No, yeah, whatever. I don't even know his fucking
He's the
name.
greatest
It's
golfer
before-
of all time, is he not?
I doubt it. Not
I don't know,
anymore.
Arnold Palmy.
He's pissed.
Arnold?
I don't know. He's
Arnold-
fucking-
Arnold the
yeah.
Ice-T
He's
Palmer?
fucking pissed.
Yeah.
He's pissed because these guys are just crushing holes. This is like,
Which is so fucking different because like nowadays like Gretzky's like McDavid's the best player ever. He's better than I ever
Yeah.
was. And it's like so the opposite.
It's so
in golf.
pretentious
That's
of
so
golf.
fucking
Gretzky
annoying, yeah.
knows.
that's why
Gretzky
golfers.
knows.
Yeah.
That's why golfers are pretentious, and they
Yeah.
are pretentious because it's a fucking pretentious sport.
What the fuck do you want? It's like if I can drive the green, but you want me to lay up because that's how you
Yeah.
fucking played.
Yeah, because
Go
I
fuck
can
yourself.
crush it 400. Oh, but it's downwind.
You just
I
want
can
to
hit. I only hit it 360.
the power meter only halfway
downwind
up on the club.
420.
Yeah.
Like it's incredible what he's doing. He's not like I was like watching it. I was like, what the fuck is that? How? And now it's changing the game. I wish golf wasn't a pretentious sport.
Yeah.
Because it's
What?
like
I don't think it's as pretentious as it was like 10 years ago. A lot of
It's
these
just- it's
younger
just like-
guys are a little bit more fun, it seems like.
yeah, but it's just like
Hotter
the vibe
girlfriends,
of golf. It's just the vibe.
good
of
times on
golf, you know?
Instagram.
Like, I enjoy the activity. I like watching it, but I don't like the fucking. I don't know what it is around it.
The guy holding up the quiet sign.
Vibe and shit like around golf.
Well, it's a rich people sport.
Yeah, and I that's what I don't like because I'm not a rich person.
Yeah.
But I like fucking playing golf.
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel like even on this podcast talking about going to play golf, I almost like feel like I feel super privileged, and I am to go play golf freely like that.
You guys know that next Wednesday I'm going golfing with my dad.
Ooh,
Really?
Hitting a few
How
balls.
much lip are you gonna be taking?
Me, my dad, my brother, and
Do you have a set
my
of
dad's
clubs?
my dad's girlfriend's kid. I'll show you my clubs after. They've been in the basement for 2 years. I'm gonna go to what is that driving range near your place?
Rock Chapel.
I'm gonna go there.
I'll
Next,
go with you.
Let's go next week.
Bet your clubs are newer than mine.
Fuck it. Let's go tomorrow. Want to go tomorrow? I'll go tomorrow. Sure. You want to come too?
Done at 10.
Yeah, what, are you
You want me
busy?
to get the fucking cash register thing out?
What are
again?
you? I forgot. You're measuring.
I got a
eh?
floor plan tomorrow.
You're going up north.
And then
I
I'm going
forgot.
north,
I
yeah.
forgot. Yeah, I'm gonna go tomorrow. Let's go hit some
Depends what
balls.
time. Are you working tomorrow?
Till 10:30.
Well, what time are we going?
Right after 10.
You
whatever.
can't go. You got to measure at 11, right?
Yeah, you guys go.
Hey, buddy, I've been fucking.
I got-
I've been pushing 60 hours this week.
I gotta go.
Ah,
I gotta
okay.
go because I gotta fucking hit a few balls. I haven't hit a
can show
ball
you
in
a few
almost
things.
probably 12 months.
You'll be
Been
fucking
close.
sore.
Yeah, for sure. My hands
Twisting,
will
man.
be sore.
It's hilarious. Like people like look at that, like, oh man, you're not gonna be fucking like golf is so fucking weak. I'm like, dude, play it,
Golf is.
Your lats.
play it, bro.
That's
Like,
exactly right. Anyone who's ever seen, I remember when slow motion cameras came out. I got Kenzie. We took like slow motion pictures of each other at the golf course, like hitting the ball. I couldn't believe how much flex my lat got hitting off a tee.
Oh yeah.
Like that's crazy. How much
It's like,
fucking.
it's all like in
yeah.
your hips and shit. And you're
Yeah.
twisting. And
You're supposed to turn it. You're supposed to like bring it around your back and through, right? Is that the?
Yeah, you come up and then you cock your hands to get more. Of
I
the
can't.
club,
I can't do that.
You're not gonna learn to do that in a week. Though,
I can't do
you know
that.
what I
And then
mean?
you fucking come through and you fucking turn your wrist, and it's like you get distance on the ball with club speed.
The trick is to just
That's why these
not-
wiry guys can fucking dust it, except for this Bryson DeChambeau guy, 26 years old, 250 or 240.
Jesus.
He's
What?
just a meat hound. He's huge. And
Coming
he's
out
just
of quarantine
crushing the
heavy,
ball,
eh?
man.
I'm gonna try and play under 120 next week.
That's the goal.
Don't
Yeah.
I
I
guess.
think that's setting the bar pretty low.
Under 120.
I've never seen you play, but I
Yeah.
just imagine you can
I'm-
probably hit 100.
That's a pretty,
I'm
not
like-
that low of a bar.
I'm like okay off the tee as long as I don't use a driver. I can't use a driver, and then I'm
Yeah, good thing you
okay.
don't need
I'm
that very
okay under 100 feet in the air or on the ground. But that like
ideally not
Bump and
on
runs.
the ground.
Big bump and run guy.
What course you playing?
It's all right.
Knollwood.
Not an easy
played it.
course. It's not that bad. It's a nice course. I like Norwood.
It's not
Knollwood
a par
we're playing.
3 course though.
No.
Knollwood's charging
No.
$40 green fee with a cart
For
Pretty good.
1.1
for
person.
for 18.
Oh yeah,
$40. That's pretty good.
that is
It's
pretty
really good.
I think that's probably COVID pricing.
Lower or higher?
I think it's lower. I would guess.
I don't think COVID pricing would be lower at a golf course. It's fucking. They can't keep people off the tees.
I can't.
Really?
I can't. I
Oh,
tried to get a
fuck
tee
yeah.
time for Saturday. Can't do it.
Actually, yeah, going to the stairs. There's the Shadow courses are both packed. every
Fucking
time we
packed.
go.
I went golfing yesterday, and we got paired up with another person. 'cause
Really?
it was like, yeah, there were so many fucking tee times.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking you and young blood, Bonnie.
But we just let them tee off first.
Smart.
Yeah, sure. That's always the move.
Yeah. Why not? Right. Like.
I like meeting new people, but I don't want to do it playing golf.
For 4 hours.
I know. I got to get some. I have to buy balls too. I got to get some balls. I have no balls unless I just steal them from the range, which I might do.
Ooh.
I wouldn't. I got fucking a net full of balls of
Do you?
shit balls.
You're not
Shit
breaking,
balls?
You're not
Yeah,
breaking
take 'em.
120 playing with range balls. Tell you
Why?
that much.
Because
Why?
they're fucking lighter.
They are.
They're
Yeah.
floaters.
Oh, I didn't know
floaters.
that.
You
This
don't
is
want
good
that.
information.
Yeah, well, that's why you can fucking like crush them at the range, and they don't. But they get fucked. You can hit them further, but any wind.
Mm-hmm.
See you later.
I gotta look into this because I need balls. I gotta look at my clubs and make sure nothing's broken or anything. I'll show you guys after this. It's honestly, oh my god, it's shameful. The
I'm kind of
clubs I
curious
have.
what you got. I'm honestly like right now. I'm kind of bucking up. I'm gonna buy a 3-wood. I think
Well, we can
be a $200 club. I'm thinking.
we can wrap this up. If you want. We're an hour and a half. We
Yeah,
fucking
we should
did it.
probably
yeah.
wrap her up.
Anything else you want to say?
should
Comments?
keep talking.
Kanye for president 2020.
I guess.
Stale content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God bless and good night.
Alrighty.